Hello, YouTube cubes. You're probably like, oh, his mic is muted, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there it is. Gotcha, Galka. Got him. I was singing to the music. Galka Binary, hello. Welcome, everybody, to another Guild Wars 2 stream. The last Guild Wars 2 show should be back up right now on the Janther Wilds playlist. Yes, I did a bunch of editing yesterday. Yes, I did a bunch of editing of even past stuff. I'm working on things on the channel to get it, quote unquote, more truthful. So our Final Fantasy 1 through 10 playthrough, we never get, we did some of 9. But 9 got copyrighted to hell, so I pulled it. I was done. Yeah, show's a little early today. We're going to get ready for the World vs. World update. But anyways, it should say Final Fantasy 1 through 8, even though I'll still mention 1 through 10 in the shows and things like that in the VODs. But I updated that in the playlist and got that all squared away. It's all copyright free from claims for now. Until Final Fantasy 7 gets hit again. Final Fantasy 9 got hit again. That's why I was like, I should probably go back and look at that. But a bunch of the past videos, I edited out the breaks and stuff like that. Some of the editing, when I cut stuff out, YouTube's weird, and it just like, it doesn't do the full time I put in. I don't know if it's just not caching the time I put in and things like that. But if it's a little choppy and stuff, I'm going to try to make that better. I'm trying to give it like 3 seconds of buffer. But yeah. Chaz. The October 2018 one, 12,000 views. Still ridiculous. That's the most watched vid on this channel. But yeah, we're gonna be World vs. World update should be going through here soon and that kind of stuff. We'll also talk about the balance patch, which is a rarity. But I do want to talk about the newest balance patch because I don't like it. They're killing Spectral Grasp, and I don't like it. And I'm going to probably explain why they're killing it, but I'm also going to explain why they shouldn't touch it at all and maybe go back to the drawing board or maybe figure out how to freaking fix this stuff, because if it's exploits they're trying to fix, I really think there are easy ways to fix it. I actually buffing the skill, actually. Sounds weird, but it's true. It's true. I'm trying to think what else is happening today. We'll also talk about the fact that the expansion is being delayed until October. I'll give my thoughts on that a bit. We'll look at the gym store today. There's been some updates since 2 weeks ago. And then, yes, I was wearing the same shirt, but it's been 2 weeks and I do laundry, so no, I've been wearing the same shirt every day. If there's not a lot, we'll talk about Janther Wilds stuff. Very, very small. In the last video, I cut out like 2 hours worth of stuff, and one of them was just, I cut out the most salty stuff. I don't think it's productive for me to just feel doomsay and that kind of stuff, so I just cut it out. But Adventures will do that to me. I do want to air my grievances that I do think this expansion isn't really worth the money to someone like me. I'm not raiding, the homesteads just aren't interesting to me. You know, I'm not the creative person who wants to decorate and stuff like that. The new spear is, the lore behind it's cool, that kind of thing. The story is The new maps are, I mean, I like Lowlands. Is that what it's called? Well, that's just it. It's like, it's sort of, I think it's going to be one of those expansions that's forgotten about. But just overall, the newest expansion isn't grasping me. But a lot of people around me seem to be having fun, enjoying content that's coming out and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm the odd one out, you know? Like I'm just not getting it. So I don't know. I really felt like quitting PvE, like just being done with it, focusing world versus world, trying to grow stuff there with some other peers and that kind of thing. And then I started having a conversation with them about it. And I think the big thing at this point is I don't have any goals in the game because I'm done with legendary stuff. I'm not, and none of the goals like achievement points or anything is attractive anymore after 12 and a half years. And I think having that conversation about MMOs in general and the fact that like after 10 years of playing an MMO, there's really, if you're playing everything, then suddenly the content just sort of ends because that's what happens. You just run out of content. And it's sort of like an empty feeling. Like you want more, but there isn't more. So you feel disappointed versus hungry for the next patch type of thing. And when an expansion comes out like this one that doesn't really check off any of the boxes of the stuff that I enjoy, or doesn't go as in depth in the maps or the story and that kind of stuff, or create anything new enough for a veteran, it just sort of feels empty. And when you're one of those players and then everybody around you sort of saying, no, it's not that bad, or they're enjoying certain aspects that you just aren't, like, yeah, you feel like an outsider to the game that you enjoy playing. So yeah, it's about stepping back and sort of trying to find what's good with the game and that kind of stuff and still have that positive outlook, but at the same time, sort of we're in a waiting period. And when you have created your own content drought, because that's what it is at the end of the day. If I did raids, if I did the new Fractal, if I did that stuff, but I just don't enjoy that content, and I know I won't, because New Age Fractals are just pretty much mini raids, and raids are raids. I've never enjoyed raids. That's not true. I enjoyed Perfect Worlds raids because I could solo them. That was a long time ago. That's like 20 years ago now. But like, yeah, you know, and you want world versus world to get better and that kind of thing. But with the balance changes and the world versus world not feeling like it's actually being updated fast enough and things like that, like there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of good things happening with quality of life, but I just do not feel good about the game right now. But that's also it. Well, and that's the question: is that jaded vet speak, or is that just the state of the game at this point for veterans? And talking to people, they feel like that point of view is extremely important to the community, because new players, they need to understand what's eventually going to happen. And if I say it now and they go, that's not the game, blah, blah, I'm having a blast, blah, blah, blah. 5 years from now, if they start to feel that way, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that one guy talking about it, you know, or maybe they know my name, but like, they'll be like, yeah, now I get it. Like, it's one of those things where your parents tell you the wisdom of the experience before you've experienced it, but it just doesn't click until you finally get the experience and the knowledge, and then the matches with the wisdom, and you go, that's what it means. That's what they were talking about. It's just one of those things, I think. And it's important to the community not to feel left out. And if I leave or quit or that kind of thing. Hey, by the way, I have never left the ArenaNet partner program, and they have never kicked me out. Okay? There was a post from January that was brought to me from Twitter. Okay, I've never been kicked out of the program. No matter what the API says, that's not what. In the background, I've always been actively involved in a lot of the stuff that they do there. I talk to other ArenaNet partners. I interact with them, and I stream at least every 2 weeks of Guild Wars 2. Okay, I have made, I think, 300 different pieces of content for Guild Wars 2 since I entered the program 8-9 years ago. Has it been that long? Like, I'm surprised they haven't kicked me out for some of the things I have said, but, you know, that's what's great about ANET. They give breathing room. You know, some of those other content creators, they've done things not so savory, but ANET's a very forgiving company. So to put things in perspective, if they kick somebody out and then that person's rooting for the failure of who was once their peers or the company or lying, don't ever trust anything they say. Don't believe anything they post. Like, stop consuming that content. Trust me, it will do you a lot of good. Like, if ANET kicked me out, would I be salty about it? Of course, because when you have an opportunity and the door is closed without your, like, you lost control of that situation, right? Yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, you move on. You're an adult, you're mature, it's a video game, the company doesn't want to partner with you anymore, and that's just life. And whether their reasoning is good or not, sometimes you just have to go. I mean, even if I was making hundreds and hundreds of dollars hands over fists from ArenaNet, you know, from the stuff I do, it's that thing. It's their choice whether that program lives or dies. And I will tell you, I can't tell you specifics, but I can tell you the ANET partner program now I feel is the strongest it's ever been. Whether we had the content to work with or not is a different conversation, but I love the ANET partners that have come in the last couple years. I've always, since some of them have started since I started streaming, and I've seen them from start to now ANET partner, and I can tell you their content is necessary because it's more positive, it's still keeping things alive, it's renewing knowledge, it's doing a lot for the program. And they're just good people in general. They're just really good people. So we have a lot of fun enjoying the game together. And I think it's amazing. But when someone's trying to take that fun away, I don't need to see it. But at the same time, I'm grateful for people looking out for me. But, you know, all that drama and stuff in the past, I really just don't care about it anymore. Now I'm back to the experience of Guild Wars 2. But anyways, let me get a chat. Midian, hello. Quality map-wise is better than Soto, in your humble opinion? Well, I don't agree with you, Midian. But I agree with you at the same time. It's complex. Where are all these gem codes? I have like stacks of gem codes. I think I have like a ridiculous amount of gem codes somewhere. Sir Sarwolf, I'd agree with you. As a veteran, my time has come to retire. Bit of both. There's loads of content for new and returning players with tons of avenue of progress for those of us who were there as the starting line was drawn. We've reached the summit. Yeah, I do feel that way, for sure. As soon as I was done with my legendary stuff this year, it just happened so fast. I realized, like, nothing in the game's actually challenging. I think just the social aspect in general for me has always been challenging. But then, like, with alliances, I sort of found more of my people. You know, and I'm grateful for that. Midian is, in chat there, is the main reason why I think we all found each other the way we have. But just one connection, and then it just led to branching connections and connections that I thought, like, you have conversations with people who, like, back in the day, like, you just had beef, like they didn't like you and then I've opened up new dialogue with them, and then, like, it's so funny to find out, like, they've changed a lot, and, you know, I've changed a lot, or one of us haven't changed, but at the same time we don't know why we were mad at each other. Like, you both love the game, and then, like, I think the passion about what should be the changes got in the way, but the state of the game now is in such a way, like, the alignment is so much closer, and so it, like, and then you're just laughing about it. You're like, why were we calling each other those things? Surprising, but yeah, I don't know. The new patch notes should be here. Let me double check really quick. Don't worry, I'll change the music here. By going into the game. Wait. 2 hours ago? I think they were posted 2 hours ago, but we couldn't see them. Right? This is not the correct game's work. I have another game running in the background. I'll be honest. It's running in the background. But why I'm here, let me play that a little bit. All right, patch notes. Let me go over to this. Let's go in game really quick. Midian, thanks for keeping it. I'll be honest, if it wasn't for my guildies and you know, the connections I have in the game with people, other ANET partners that have talked to me, and just, I mean, at one point I was so frustrated. We're gonna have to reset the game, but not yet. I was so frustrated with the game, and it was so refreshing that people were whispering me not to echo, but to lend support. To be like, yeah, I know those feelings. You know, we're here. If you want to talk about it, it's okay to vent, that kind of stuff. I don't think I've had that so directly done for like years. I mean, my guildies have always been able to tolerate me, which is nice, and we've always, you know, we're able to bounce off of each other. We're like a family, you know. But I always try to like keep that stuff here. Like I'll rant here, but I don't want to do it in our space where we're trying to have fun. But sometimes it comes out, and I just feel so bad because it's like I'm just throwing it on them type of thing. But like one time I did it, and I just felt so just disheartened, like for so many reasons for doing it. But it was so refreshing to see people like immediately reach out to me and be like, hey, you know, we get it. Like some of this stuff just isn't great, and if you need help with builds and stuff like that, you know, we're here. And I was just like, what is this? And you have like 4 or 5 people immediately sending you like DMs or whispers in game and stuff, like, and it's not the same as like, again, the echo chamber type stuff, which I did get, but it was like what is this? what is this support? But anyhow, let me get the patch notes up, and we'll talk about the World vs. World update for today. Pixel fam, Cole, hello. You go on your walk and watch me. Let's rant about the balance team. It feels like we should. We're gonna rant about the balance team today. Yeah, we're actually gonna talk about balance today. I don't know how much gameplay we're actually gonna get into today, but we're gonna be talking a lot of Guild Wars 2 stuff. So much so that, you know, if I get tired, we may have to end early, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do Chained Echoes for a bit too. I don't know. It's got to be a lot. Why is this not working? Oh, because I didn't choose the right window. My fault, everyone. All right, so this is the March 25th release notes for 2025. You're walking on the road. There's things called sidewalks. So here's the road, and they put these walkways for people to walk on, and they're on the side of the road, but they're not on the road, and they called them sidewalks. And if you use those, you're like 80% less likely to be hit by a car. Why it's only 80%? I don't know. You're worth points. I'll just say that. Anyhow, don't forget your third-party programs may break. Good luck with that. Your ARC DPS. General, commanders who ordered a cafe console during Guild Wars 2 Into Dragons will be receiving it in the mail. Get your homestead set up for next week. You remember ordering this. I don't. Reduce Decimos and Greer's health by 25% during the Mist of Monsters World Boss event. The reason why this is happening is not because players are bad, like some people are going to say. The reason why this is happening is because there's a lot less players, and some people aren't catching it in time. So they get on a map, and they're trying to fill the map. The event starts, and then they're 2 minutes behind. 25% decrease seems a little deep, I feel, but at the same time, it should let people complete it. And it's not like the end rewards for this stuff is that exceptional anyways, so I feel like it's fair. But there it is. Improved map marker visibility for eliminate the Titan spawn your Warclaw has found and eliminate the foe of the Warclaw located events. That's good. Fixed an issue that prevented the Wildfire achievement from registering completion. An explore all areas and Mistburned Barrens objective if the player completed the Mistburned Barrens Explorer achievement. Okay, so that's good. Fixed an issue that prevented Yagin's defense bar from scaling property during the defeat. Okay, I was wondering what is going on, because sometimes it's broken easily and sometimes it isn't, so I don't know if the bug was one way or the other, or it was both ways. I don't know. That event, oh God, as much as I hate that event, yeah, weird. Fixed an issue that prevented Agony Flood incoming bar from being properly displayed. Yeah, that was another one. Fixed in it, or it was displayed, but it was off. Like you would jump down to do the stuff, but it had already gone off, but the bar was still partially complete, and then suddenly it would just complete itself, and you're already being hit with agony. And I'm just like, why am I dying? There's so many things to that map that I was just like, what is this? Fixed an issue. I'm not where I live. Also, it's safer in the road because people will try to avoid you. All of them, Cole? All of them? I don't remember ordering it either. Who knows? I guess it was your 3 a.m. drunk shopping. Fixed an issue that caused Ryanwin and Alia to experience pathing issues after defeat the Yagan and capture the Jade Construct event failed. I never saw it fail, so I never saw that. Fixed an issue that allowed Coalesced Mist energy to be repeatedly picked up from the same source during survey into the Valley of Agony. Throwing Coalesced Mist energy will now damage enemies it strikes during survey into the Valley. Okay, thank God. Including the champions during the Keep the Jade Construct alive by throwing Coalesced Mist energy to fight the Titan spawn event. The Jade Armor Construct will now be granted 2 seconds of swiftness when Coalesced Mist energy is thrown into it during the escort. I mean, this event was so slow. It was so slow. It was agonizing slow at some, like, pun intended, really. But I mean, like, sitting there and just throwing and 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 throwing. And, like, if you don't throw after, like, 2 minutes, like you're doing anything else, you lose the event activity in the event, so you like have to throw it. And if you're on your sky scale shooting all the enemies to try to push it a little bit faster. But the worst part is when the guy would go fight things and then go all the way back, stop, and then go all the way back. And by that time, there was like sometimes an enemy that would get in his way and he would stop, the enemy would explode, and then he would go all the way back, and then we go, and I was just like, this is a social experiment. There's no way it's doing this. This is like some sick social experiment about patience. The Jade Armor Construct will now be granted to, all right, just right. The Jade Armor Construct's base speed has been increased during the, hey, maybe this isn't gonna be so bad anymore. Again, new players coming in, just get all the good stuff. The amount of enemies in the bottom of the valley has been reduced during Escort the Jade Construct. So they like nerfed and buffed like 12 things here. They nerfed the enemies and they buffed the construct. Fixed an issue that caused enemies to be weaker than intended during Escort Priory Scholars Sienna to the Southern Ruins event. I don't know which enemies those are. Fixed an issue that prevented all conversion options from appearing for players at the Field Survey Coordinator in Mistburn Barrens. Interesting. Convergences. Mount Balror. Thunder strikes on Mount Balror no longer reference Decima when she's not on the map. Yeah, but they still suck. Raids, Mount Balor, a legendary mode encounter with Ura is now available. That starts today. Decima's challenge mode will no longer appear until the legendary sentient conduit is defeated. Respawn locations are now correctly updated when engaging a defeated Decima with the challenge mode active. Fixed an issue that sometimes allowed a standard or deadly beam attack to pierce the conduit and hit players taking shelter behind it in Decima's challenge mode. Updated Decima's movement behavior during the first and second phases of her challenge mode to reduce cases where she fails to move to a new position. Fixed an issue that caused one of Decima's beam attacks in the second phase of her challenge mode to fire in the wrong direction. I saw this. Who was it? I don't remember who I was watching. There was a group of them, but they were doing stuff in the challenge mode, and then somebody else was doing something in the raid, and then I saw this fire, and I was like, isn't it supposed to hit the crystal? Fixed an issue. Then it sort of fell apart and then came back together. Thank God for Scourges. Fixed an issue in Decima's normal and challenged mode encounters that prevented Flux Lance Fusillade. That seems right. Target indicators from properly disappearing. The skill will now fire a beam attack, and the target indicator will disappear even if the targeted character is dead. Fixed an issue in Decima's normal and challenge mode encounters that could cause dancing sparks to begin moving again even when the players were within range of the spark's damage aura. Interesting. Personal story, Repentance fixed an issue that caused dialogue to replay at the end of Into the Valley of Shadow story chapter. Items. The April Fool's off-season vendor in Lion's Arch has been updated with new inventory for the year, including the Invisible Cat Cape, the Chatoyant Infusion, a secret new equipment item. Discerning commanders will wait for a week to see if they can get it for free, and the Golden Sink Homestead decoration recipe. The Chatoyant lens vendor cost has been updated to be slightly cheaper and slightly funnier. What's that mean? The April Fool's items, Fool's Dog Treat, Fool's Tall Tonic, and Serious Potion can no longer be sold to merchants. But why? Why can't the merchants be in on all the fun? Fixed an issue that caused the Forest Wisp accessory stats to be lower than expected. Yeah, they had, I think, Exotic instead of Ascended or something. It was much less. I did finish that quest. I gotta say, the Spear was more interesting. The Forest Wisp, not so much. Also, like, Ascended accessory type thing. So, World versus World reward tracks. Reward tracks in World versus World and structured PvP are being condensed to lower the total number of repeatable tracks. All final reward choices from the old tracks can be found in the new ones. The following reward tracks will be condensed into a single track per category. So they're streamlining reward tracks, so there's not so many of them to choose from. So here we go. Living World Season 3 reward tracks, Living World Season 4 reward tracks, region-based reward tracks, the Silver Waste reward tracks. Final reward will be included in the final reward chest for the condensed track. Dungeon reward tracks, Guild Wars 2 Into Dragons reward tracks, Triumphant Armor, Hero Weapon, and Legacy Armor reward tracks. Now, some people are going to think this is not a quality of life change, but let me tell you, it is overwhelming the number of reward tracks that have been added since the game came out. So, like, all different kinds of expansion stuff, all different kinds of new World versus World ones, that kind of thing. As far as I know, the old tracks will be available for one-time completion for any players still working on them. These will be removed at a later date. So if you're still working on a reward track, you can still finish it. And then when it's done, you have to use the new one. So all dungeon reward tracks are on the same track now. So it took 8 of them. How many dungeons were there? 8, right? Uh-oh. It is actually huge. Oh, we're talking about the reward tracks. Yeah, that's huge too. But dungeon reward tracks being in one spot I think is great, and I'm pretty sure you can probably still pick whatever weapon from whatever things and that kind of stuff. It's not going to change how the rewards are given. It's just the fact that it's now just one track. Also, in the dungeon stuff, like the dungeon tokens themselves are already universal. So like those changes, this is just expanding on that in a way. So, but you're not going to miss out because you still haven't finished, you know, the Ascalon Catacombs reward track and that kind of thing. I am curious, the region ones were locked. So some of the region ones, like you had to finish like one region to unlock another region, that kind of thing. It looks like they're getting rid of that too, which is fantastic. At this point, I see no reason to lock those reward tracks. So, yeah. 8 of them. It is 8 of them. Good. My brain was like 6. And I was like, no, it's 8. Map currencies and materials needed to craft Generation 2 and 3 legendary weapons have been added to the Heart of Maguma reward track, the Crystal Desert reward track, and the Canthan reward track. Map currencies and material needed to craft Generation 2 and 3 legendaries can now be found in the Heart of Maguma, Crystal Desert, and Canthan reward track. So, World versus World players who want to craft legendary weapons, this is a way to get that currency into your pockets. Do you like that change? Do you like it? Because you should. Because if you've been playing in World versus World for 12 freaking years and you don't have legendary weapons, what have you been doing? Especially the last 5 years where they've just upped the rewards up the wazoo. You could just buy them. You could just sell everything you get in your inventory and just buy legendary weapons. If you're a World versus World player going, I don't need a legendary weapon, you are just lying to yourself because the balance changes are so fast but slow that you constantly have to change your build. Legendary weapons have probably saved you thousands of gold by now had you just got them done in the first place. But now you have zero excuses because they're even giving you the map currencies. Could be content is still locked at the end of the reward. Like you have to finish the reward track so many times? That seems like extra work. I guess we can look when we get in the game, but I don't have a fresh account, so I don't know how it would be for a new player. I would be interested in seeing that. Cole, buy a new Guild Wars 2 account and stream. Don't say you're lazy. You're not lazy. You're making the right choice. We don't have time for this. The Heart of Thorns currency choice that gives a choice of airship parts, lump of beryllium or leyline crystals can now be traded in bulk to skirmisher supervisors. The weekly Stone Mist Castle Conqueror achievement can now be progressed by capturing Stone Mist Castle once or defending it 3 times. The hell? What the hell? Now defending it is even worse for players. Now people are actually going to defend it, get their weekly reward, and keep other players from getting their weekly reward. How about if I attack it 10 times, I get credit? If I'm in those defense events 10 times, that means I got, at least 3 people. If they're new, they're weekly, and then I get it too for participating in those things, even if I die. Just, give me something, ArenaNet. The Emblem of the Conqueror achievement can now be progressed by successfully capturing or defending objectives. So all those people who were like, the Emblem of the Conqueror is keeping me from getting all the infinite siege, 0 excuses. No more complaining. Stop your whining. You know what this feels like? I'm just gonna say this feels like a Roy change. This feels like a Roy change. It could have been Cecil, but I'm pretty sure that's a Roy change. The time required to hold an objective before tactics can be added has been lowered from 10, 30, 60 minutes to 10, 15, 20 minutes for Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 tactics, respectively. No! Tier 3 tactics, emergency waypoint, airship, and siege dampener, and keeps in Stone Mist Castle can now be activated while the objective is under attack. Only be activated while the objective is under attack. So you cannot use the emergency waypoint, airship, or siege dampener unless the objective is under attack. Tier 3 tactics applied to towers are unchanged because there's strategy to pulling an emergency waypoint at a tower to get your people in a different position to, you know, AJ a commander somewhere else or whatever that's hitting your keep. So that strategy doesn't die, but for keeps and garrisons and Stone Mist Castle, you cannot pull these tactics until it's under attack. So, which sort of worries me at one point, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to say anything negative about it just yet, but I am curious to see if this right here might get in the way because someone isn't attacking the Lord. I'll say that. If the walls are down and it's not being contested, then the emergency waypoint can't be pulled until the Lord is down or is being attacked. But that means if they clear out the area, start attacking the Lord. Well, I guess this is to keep emergency waypoint farming too, probably. So, not as invasive as I'm thinking it is. Now, the more I think about it, I think it's playing both sides evenly better than it was. But people just can't troll the emergency waypoint. Airship, whatever. Siege dampener, whatever. But like the emergency waypoint being pulled by trolls is long gone. Now you need someone to help you and attack the walls. Has it been that much of an issue? You should see EU. I mean, look at NA. I mean, just people just pulling tactivators to troll or not knowing what it is and then pulling. I think that's the other thing. Sometimes people use these and don't realize, like, you know, it's actually crazier to think about that they don't get pulled more often by mistake. But like if somebody's new to the game or they're trying to res somebody and they hit the tactivator and stuff, like the amount of times I've heard commanders screaming about, you know, this or that. But I think in our circle, Cole, it's more, do I have it available? Yes or no? No? Oh well. Yes, let's use it. Like, I think that's more in our circle versus like other commanders, like it is part of their strategy. I need that emergency waypoint. Somebody pulled it 23 minutes ago. Or not even 6 minutes ago. Anyways, Keep Lord's base health has been lowered by 12.5%, and Tower Lord's base health has been lowered by 25%. Maximum scaling for objective lords and towers and keeps in Stone Mist Castle has been lowered by 16%. Less health on the lords. So they felt it was too high. It looks like they backed it up. I agree. I think the health was too high. We'll see. We'll see how it feels now. Why would they stop my fun? Cole, I do not have Maguma spies in my chat. The drop rate for siege equipment from unsealed mist-hardened lockbox has been increased. The drop rate for siege equipment from the unsealed mist-hardened lockbox has been increased, so we can get more blueprints. Piles of recycled siege can drop from objective lords and towers, keeps, and Stone Mist Castle, as well as from defeating players. Additionally, these items are now tradable. Piles of recycled siege are now tradable. The market's gonna shift really hard, but this should lower the price. Oh, so should this, since they drop. So I'm curious how far the blueprint price is going to come back down. It was at like 10 silver. It's gone up to 12 and 13 some, but like, is it going to drop down to like 3 or 4? Is it going to be like 5 or 6? I think anywhere from 3 silver to 5 silver is fair. I think anything below 3 silver, we get into that, you know, everybody's going to have infinite siege. But once you're at like that 5 silver range, I think it's a good long-term goal for a gold sink. A new Kurzik weapon set now has a rare chance to drop from objective lords and towers, keeps, and Stone Mist Castle, as well from players. The item will be tradable a tradable chest containing selection of account-bound exotic weapons. So there's a new weapon set to be found as well. The Warclaw mount's ability to detect damaged walls and gates when using the sniff skill has been split into its own skill. Detect vulnerabilities will now appear on the hill skill slot when mounted in World vs. World. So, you know when you sniff and everything's pinging? No more. Now, if you really need to know which wall's damaged, you have a whole skill. That's a great quality of life change. I mean, a lot of this stuff is. This is some really good stuff here. From the reward tracks all the way down. Some additional test golems have been added to the Armistice Bastion Lounge. Oh, that's that's a quick change of subject, but okay. Late notes. Mistburned Barrens is now listed in the LFG tool under Janther Wilds. Hey, now we don't have to put it in a different map and be like, yo, Mistburned Barrens stuff. That's it. Hold on, let's refresh. Nope. No more. I'll hold this page. Let's patch. And we'll talk about some other things here soon. Actually, now let me patch. But I think I want to talk about the balance changes now. Before I get too far in. What is this? What do I have here? Complete 30 events in the Janther region. Easy. By the way, the weeklies and stuff for this week are really easy. Completed so much stuff last night just doing guild missions and doing the dailies. Hold on. Why I'm here and why I'm thinking about... Oh, wait. Why do I have one essence of luck in there? Did I put the wrong thing in the bank? All these unidentified gear. That's from World vs. World. All right. Anyhow, quit. Let me grab the balance patch notes, and we'll talk about a few things. It's not just Spectral Grasp we'll talk about. But again, I feel like it's important that I talk about this balance patch. As I've said, I'm not the best person when it comes to this, but at the same time, this one is... What's a nice way to say it? This one is so interesting that I need to go all the way back. First page. There we go. This one's so interesting that we have to go over it. So let's we'll read it. If you saw Muckluck talk about this, I think he did a good job covering things, and where he stopped a lot of times to talk about stuff is sort of where we're gonna hit. I'm not going to go through everything, but I will go through a bunch of it to sort of express the PvE side of things mostly, and then give some insight to some of the World versus World, maybe some PvP stuff. I haven't played PvP a lot, but I do know of some things. Again, it's not like I'm not knowledgeable about the game. Also, spoilers possible. Why is that still up? Well... Maybe. But anyhow, let me get back in the game. So we have some background music because the music to this game is amazing, and I don't care what anybody says. If anything should survive the test of time, don't send me a mail. Don't send me a mail. What is that? Special delivery. Homestead decoration box. Cafe console. Huh? Let me also check the... Okay. We'll also talk about EU and the Black Lion store and the changes that are going to be happening with that, too. But let's go over this. I'm going to read this top part really quick, and then I'm going to go down here and talk about the changes and stuff. Hi everyone, welcome to the preview for the April 15th balance patch. This update will largely be a tuning update with a couple of functional changes. As always, the goal of previewing these changes is to gather your feedback before the live release. We'll be following the conversation, making further adjustments as needed. Thanks, Taylor Trigg Brooks, competitive designer. General, the main goals of this update are to bring some specializations in PvE up closer to the contemporaries and to further lower boon application in World vs. World, specifically quickness. Unlike alacrity, quickness is a boon we want to exist in World vs. World, just with more intentional applications. This update will be lowering quickness durations or changing the applications we feel are too frequent. Then they go in immediately to the Relic of the Fireworks, fixed initiative preventing this relic from triggering with certain multi-part skills such as Warrior's Greatsword Rush, which that's fantastic, but here it is. Elementalist. This is going to affect people who play Elementalist. And I say it that way because a lot of the changes are PvE related. They're buffing things in PvE. And it's just, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. So, you're going to have to read through this carefully. The only thing I will talk about is Flame Uprising. Increase the burning stacks from 1 to 2 and reduce the burning duration from 6 seconds to 4 seconds in PvP in World vs. Worlds. This is an interesting change, but at the same time, I don't think Elementalist is the top dog when it comes to the burning stacks. I think that still is given to Guardian, maybe Engineer. I don't know. Some people are talking about stuff, but at the same time, that's the one thing in World vs. World and PvP that changed. But everything else here, I believe, is all either universal or just PvE oriented. Catalyst, deploy the Jade Sphere Air. The skill now applies Fury instead of Quickness in World vs. World only. So it only does Fury, no longer Quickness. That's going to be a big thing in World vs. World. But my biggest problem about the Jade Spheres is that it doesn't work effectively underwater. It still hasn't been fixed. ArenaNet needs to go back and fix it. The amount of people who complain about it have complained about it to me, just in general, and other places on the forums. The Jade Sphere does not work underwater. And while underwater stuff isn't the most populated whatever, it's still important if you get into a situation on your Catalyst in World vs. World to not be foobarred if somehow you got Spectral Grasp by a Necro from underneath the water all the way into the water, and then you're screwed. Because Spectral Grasp is the strongest skill in the entire game. The strongest skill in the game. I mean, by far, if you're not running Spectral Grasp on a Necro, you're not even playing Necro. You're just playing a Warrior. You're just playing a Conditioned Thief. I mean, what are you doing? Spectral Grasp. It will kill everyone. Like, it is the strongest ability in the game. The balance team is going to recognize this. We haven't got to it. But Spectral Grasp is so strong that they're trying to kill that skill off, but they can't. Because it's a god. It will rise from the depths. It is stronger than the Necromancer themselves. I don't even know why they give us a weapon. Spectral Grasp is so strong and effective that I just don't understand how it hasn't been nerfed in 12 and a half years. It's crazy. And it kills Catalysts. But also give them a fighting chance by fixing the fucking Jade Sphere underwater. Spectacular Sphere. This trait now causes Air Sphere to grant quickness instead of Fury in World vs. World only. So you have to trade up to get the quickness. I probably should have said that right in a row. So it now applies Fury instead of quickness. But if you trade up, you can get the quickness back. So they're making you have to pick, is my guess. I don't know. Engineer, power-based mechanists have fallen behind the pack, and so they're seeing a damage increase with a bigger boost to ranged rifle variants. As Engineer has been commanding force in World vs. World of late, we're making downward adjustments to support focused scrapper and damage-focused Holosmith builds to bring them more in line. Okay, with that in mind, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. I have not seen a mechanist do anything in World vs. World in 2 weeks. You know what I've seen? Vindicators, Necros, Guardians. I've seen the same thing. Mechanists are so a niche thing out there Like the support focused scrappers, what are you talking about? Those scrappers are not support focused. They're CC focused and damage. Are we playing the same game? You can call them support, but at the end of the day, their thing is to lock people down, kill them as the Zerg runs through. Tell me I'm wrong. Holosmiths, damage focused Holosmith builds, bring them more in line. This should have happened freaking a year ago. Now you're going to do it? Let's see how it happens. So these are the general changes to Engineer. This is sorry, I grabbed too much there. There's a lot of stuff in PvE to... It's not exactly a nerf either, because the rifle burst here, you know, that got a buff and that kind of thing. The burning stacks in PvE. I don't think the burning stacks... Again, Engineer with burning, it really comes down to if you're running full force burning. If you're not, I don't think it's going to affect you that much from reducing it from 3 to 2 in PvE. In World versus World and some PvP, we got a bunch of stuff that happened here. They reduced the initial might stacks from chain reaction might stacks from 3 to 2 in World versus World, and 2 to 1 from the initial stacks. Increased, so you can't build up damage as fast as you could. Super Elixir increased the initial impacts base healing from 700 to 900, the pulse healing. So that went up in PvE and PvP, but not World versus World. So this doesn't, I don't know why exactly they didn't put it in World versus World, because a bit of healing from Engineer would put it more support focused for the scrapper, because you'd be able to use that kind of stuff. But anyways, I digress. Acid Bomb got reduced in the initial power coefficient, so it does less damage. Flame Jet reduced the power coefficient from 0.2 to 0.15. I don't think that change was necessary. I don't think that's where they already are going to try to reduce stacks of might. That's where they need to focus. The power coefficient means nothing when you reduce it by like even 25% here. The biggest problem I've seen from Flame Jet is the fact that there's a bunch of might sitting on the Engineer too. Like, if they're not able to just go up to 25 stacks of might in seconds and just blast you down with the Flame Jet, now that you've reduced it by 25% damage, if they're not getting the might and you reduced it by 25% damage, that is an exponential increase to Engineer and now not being effective anymore. So, I mean, it's a weird thing. Rifle burst, increase the rifle burst. There's that. No, that's not what I'm looking at. Blunderbuss, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking rifle. Increase the minimum power coefficient from 1.1 to 1.75 and increase the maximum power coefficient from 1.76 to 2.2 in PvE only. So again, another rifle change for PvE. So with the rifle burst and the blunderbuss, PvE upgrade. Jump shot, reduce the landing power coefficient from 1.74 to 1.45 in World versus World only. Jump shot, again, one of those things that I just don't know if they're playing the game, because jumping into a Zerg with that, if it does work, you want it to do a lot of damage, but it's the might. You build up a bunch of might, you switch back to the rifle, you jump in, you kill people, right? Like, the biggest problem is that by reducing the coefficient, you've killed roaming for a lot of people who use the kits and back and forth with the rifle and that kind of thing. You're killing small havoc groups too, because that Engineer isn't going to build up 25 stacks of might every time, depending on who he's running with. So it's a weird change. I think in Zerg play, it's getting... I think they're getting it, but at the same time, like, it's such a punishing thing to base Engineer, to change such effective weapons in World versus World as one of your fighting points as someone who doesn't have an expansion or whatever. It makes you feel like you're able to provide. But now I think just changing this stuff and just other things that'll happen down here just is weird. Scrapper kinetic accelerators reduce the might stacks from 3 to 2 in World versus World only. So again, they're reducing the might stacks. I don't know if the mortar kit versus the flamethrower versus that, how much it's going to change, but I don't know. I think they need to focus on reducing might stack buildup first and then go back and change these coefficients, because the support the support focus scrapper, what you're changing isn't like downward adjustments for support focus. So are you reducing the support, or are you saying you're reducing the DPS so they're more support? What are you saying here? This doesn't make sense to sit there and say support focus scrapper. You're reducing the DPS of the scrapper in general, because the changes here to these things up top for World versus World specifically impact the amount of damage they can output as a support focused scrapper, but as a scrapper in general. So I don't understand what they're talking about. Hollowsmith, Corona Burst, reduce the power coefficient from 0.96 to 0.8 in World versus World only. Where's the other one? Prime Light Beam, reduce the power coefficient from 0.5 to 0.4 in World versus World only. Again, if we reduce the might, you might not have to change these coefficients at all. Like, it's okay if a Zerg is putting out might to 25 stacks, right? Because that means whoever they're fighting may also be putting on protection and things like that. But at the same time, I think that's where the problem comes in, is the boons in World versus World. It's just such an exponential component to when multiple Hollowsmiths are in there and then they blast people down. Yes, this may reduce the burst, but where all that extra damage is coming from, usually that extra 6k easy, is the might stacks. And that's, I mean, should we punish lesser play? I just don't know. I don't know how support is supposed to support in World versus World, especially from an engineer's angle at this point. If you're going to change specifically these engineers to do less damage, that's great because the damage is so high. But at the same time, if you nerf it in two different places, then how do we know what's working? Because all we're going to see is then suddenly the flamethrower isn't as effective, or we're going to see, you know, whatever else. Like, I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated that you couldn't just change the coefficient or change the might stacks, come back to it and see where stuff is. This is why it's so important for balancing to not be a 6-month event. It needs to happen very quickly, and it needs to be hot fixes specifically for competitive modes. This is why World versus World just isn't going to ever just be a great balanced game, because people are just going to be like, well, instead of using Flame Jet, what else can I do? And then they're going to find some other cheesy grenade build or something like that, or whatever it is next, because that's what happens. They go from one build to the next, back to that one, to this one, to that one, back to this one. That's what always happens in the meta, and you could change it up. But when you feel really strong and your build is effective in a Zerg because it's effective in roaming, how do you fix that? What's making it effective still, and how do you balance that? You just can't in World versus World. I feel we're just in a rough place. But at the same time, I just don't feel like these changes, they do anything that you want it to do, because people are just going to be like, okay, that's nerfed, I'm not going to use it. And then you never get the data anyways, because it's not still competitive with other builds out there, like Warrior. Like, we'll talk about that. But Mechanist, Jade Energy Shot, that's the PvE one. Again, PvE in general got boosted. So there you go. By the way, with Hollowsmith and PvP, they did increase the healing for heat therapy, but not really sure anything about that. But I do want to touch on that, because I think this was a problem I read somewhere, but it might be something else I'm thinking of. PvE, so reduce the Jade Mech stat inheritance by 50% for toughness and vitality, and by 20% for all other stats in World versus World. So they reduced the Jade Mech stats, which toughness and vitality, I think 50%. They should have probably started with something a little lower, maybe max 33%, because some mechs, they go into a Zerg, immediately die. And so they're not useful. 20% for all the other stats, I mean, that could be argued, but the 50% for toughness and vitality, you pretty much just killed Mechanist. You just killed it for any Zerg-related play, and probably even roaming, depending on who they're fighting now. Because you're not going to nerf every class evenly like a Willbender, who's just going to focus that Mechanist all the way down, and then their mech's going to come over and start trying to do damage, And it ain't gonna matter. Because they're just gonna burst the area until both are dead. Guardian, this round of PvP Firebrand updates is focused on lowering the duration of Tome Dormancy to increase potential synergy with the Virtues trait line. I don't know what any of that means, to be honest. But they reduced a lot of time for PvE and PvP. The only thing I can see that might be interesting in Firebrand is Overwhelming Celerity reduced the quickness duration from 4 to 2.5 seconds world versus world only. So that's going to be a big impact. Stalwart Speed increased the quickness duration from 1 second to 1.5 seconds and increased the eternal cooldown from 7 seconds to 14 seconds? Yeah, that's right. Why the double in that? So you increased... I understand, like, it's... They want quickness in World versus World, but I feel like just get rid of it. It's a good mechanic in the burst sense, but just like 14 seconds is a long time in World versus World. 8 seconds is a long time in World versus World. 7 seconds was a long time. I just don't think Stalwart Speed needed to be changed. I think that's just a wasted programming. That's just dumb. The lowering of quickness from 4 seconds to 2.5 seconds. The question is 1 to 3 seconds or 4 seconds even too short in World versus World versus 8 seconds being too long? For cooldown, it's too long. For use, it's too short. Because the window to use it effectively is so quick. And in a Zerg fight or even out and about in Havoc groups and stuff like that, it's just, I don't know. Is it going to make a difference? Is it just going to be wasted most of the time? That kind of thing. If you want quickness in World versus World, it has to be used effectively. First of all, that's why Alacrity got so out of control. A lot of people effectively started using it. And then you're like, we got to remove that, which is fair. But quickness itself is sort of in the same boat, but it's sort of the opposite. People figure it out and realize it's just not worth the effort over doing more damage with something else or whatever. Or it's just sort of a side effect with this stuff. So, like the Stalwart Speed, I just feel like it's like, what is this? Willbender, PvE, they reduced the condition damage bonus from 5% to 4% in PvE only. Nothing else with Willbender. Not a single damn thing changed with Willbender. Not anything about their burstiness out on the field, anything like that. More than likely, they don't want to change Willbender because, again, Spectral Grasp has been such a thorn in their side. Willbenders can't get away. Power Reapers just absolutely clearing the field with Spectral Grasp. I can't tell you enough about the fact that Spectral Grasp is just ruining the roaming gameplay. You can't get into a keep because you can't get to the gate because Spectral Grasp just absolutely annihilates you, doesn't let you run away. You're pretty much just locked down and you have to bend over because at that point Spectral Grasp is just going to do its thing. And so for Willbenders, they're not going to touch it in World versus World at all, even though there's still an absolute pain in everyone's side and things like that, except Spectral Grasp is the ultimate balancer of all things. If you balance Spectral Grasp, you balance World versus World. So they feel like Willbender's probably still in a good place, and they want to change Spectral Grasp first. After 12.5 years, they have decided, we'll change that first, and then we'll see how strong Willbender actually is, so we can do the appropriate nerfs. They're gonna put the kitty gloves on for Guardian, for sure, because that's what they usually do. So for Willbender, we're going to only nerf it in PvE. We're not going to touch it in World versus World until Spectral Grasp stops just destroying Willbenders. Mesmer! In PvE, power-based Chronomancer's Phantasm damage will be more potent, and Greatsword is also seeing damage increases to potentially become a more appealing option. We're also tweaking how Illusionary Membrane functions so it's easier to play around for condition-based builds. Or maybe, here's an idea. I'm just throwing it out there. Stop nerfing fucking Greatsword so you have to go back and make it quote-unquote more appealing. If you create the problem, you're just providing solutions to the problem that you made. Mirror Blade got increased power coefficient. It's the main one in PvE. from 1 to 1.5, it does 50% more damage, or however this is read. I'm not really sure. Somebody said this was a 100% increase. I don't know how that's possible, but you know, again, I'm not the biggest competitive numbers buff. But in PvE, open world, even then, I'm even more confused about the numbers. But Mirror Blade, again, they increase the damage. Phantasmal Berserker increased the Phantasm power coefficient from 0.23 to 0.3. This will be interesting. I believe that's the 4 skill. So that they nerfed. I don't even think it was that long ago. Maybe a couple years ago. They moved it back up. Chronomancer. Chronophantasma increased the Phantasm damage modifier from 100% to 115% in PvE. That's interesting to me because, you know, Chronomancer is being buffed in PvE. Seize the moment. Reduce the shatter quickness duration from 0.75 seconds to 0.5 seconds, and then the Phantasm quickness duration from 1 second to 0.75 seconds in world versus world only. Or, here's an idea. Just remove it. Just turn Seize the Moment into anything else. I mean, let it do something, just vulnerability to the enemy. That'd be great. What's the point of having 0.75 seconds of quickness? What's that doing for me? Oh, I'm gonna get more more shatters out? Yeah, but the problem is it's now 0.5 seconds here, and it just almost 2 seconds all the way down to just above a second. Like, again, just remove it. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of quickness. Well, so many players aren't going to know what to do with this. Only the good players got buffed there. That's what happened. That nerf buffed better players. And if that's what we're doing, then where's the esports league? Where is it? Virtuoso, Phantasmal Blades reduce the power coefficient from 0.7 to 0.575 in PvE only. Somebody has it out for Virtuoso and PvE, and I don't know what their fucking problem is. Just leave them alone. They were fine where they were at. What is this change? What am I missing? I even went around and asked people, like, what's going on with Virtuoso and PvE? And they're just like, oh, it's strong. I'm like, oh, so it's like one of the best classes, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, it's been one of the best classes, but not so much after the last changes. And I was like, oh, yeah, so Phantasmal Blades. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that was getting nerfed. All right, moving on. Necromancer. I'm sorry. These balance changes just... There's so many of them I could just remove and it wouldn't change. Like putting some of these in isn't going to change anything in the game. Like, I don't know who these changes are affecting. I really don't. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. Necromancer is performing well recently in all game modes. It always has. I don't know what that means, but it's not going to bode well. Power-based Reaper and Core Necro builds based on the Terror Grandmaster trait can be improved in PvP. So, but they nerfed it. But they nerfed it because of the CC. So they're receiving a stability bump as well as a reduction in cooldown of Spectral Ring to reduce their killing potential. Could be improved in PvP. Sustainability bump as well as reduction in cooldown of Spectral Ring to kill their killing potential. We've been through this rodeo. We've already been through this rodeo. But let's get to the important part. Grasping Darkness can be a frustrating skill to get hit by, especially in large world versus world fights where its visual effect may have low visibility, or it's just not there at all. Trust me, it's not there at all. The skill will now have an additional telegraph effect, similar to Warrior Staff Snap Pull for enemies only. Spectral Grasp will be nerfed because after 12.5 years of just owning the game, it now needs to be nerfed, and forever that godlike move has been a thorn in ArenaNet's side, but they finally figured out how to nerf it perfectly and make sure that it will never affect World vs. World, PvE, or any other game mode ever again in such a negative way that Necros have been just dominating every competitive mode since the game came out because Spectral Grasp has been unstoppable. Just absolutely annihilating anything in its path. Even the overpowered Willbenders cannot take on the Spectral Grasp from the Necromancer. It has been so powerful. We're nerfing it as hard as we can, but even then, we are unsure whether Spectral Grasp will actually go from godlike to mortal. Let's start with Grasping Darkness. Now, if you're confused about Spectral Grasp and Grasping Darkness, don't worry. You're not alone. You're all fucking idiots, so let me help you out. Grasping Darkness is the Greatsword 5 skill that does a pull. Yes, it's a hand, okay? Yes, I understand that. But don't say it that way. Stop saying it that way. It's a pull on the Greatsword 5, okay? Grasping Darkness, okay? This skill now displays a warning telegraph to enemies only when used. Reduce the number of targets from 5 to 3 in World versus World. Let me tell you, that telegraph means jack fucking shit, okay? In the giant Zerg fight, you're still not going to see it happen 9 times out of 10, but the pulls from 5 to 3, fair. But I feel like it's only getting nerfed because it's been effectively used to take bites out of Zergs to get rid of some of their supports and things so they can actually kill boon balls. And some commanders are really, really good at it. Like in my alliance, our wonderful Heck Commander Jen does a great job with pulls, kill, okay. Pulls, kill, okay. And I guess ArenaNet says that kind of gameplay is not fair, even though every single other commander is doing the same thing. And if they're not, that's why they're losing. You don't need skill in World versus World. You just need nerfs. Consume conditions. Reduce the casting time by 0.2 seconds. Increase the base healing from 5,000. That's actually a significant change, by the way. 5,240 to 6,840 base healing. That's a lot. And it removes the conditions, so it does a lot for you. And it's casted faster. I don't know if 0.2 seconds is really going to make the big difference, but it probably could. I always think healing skills need to be able to be casted faster anyways. They should be insta-casts. I think every healing skill should be an insta-cast reaction to bad things happening to you. The panic button. Spectral Grasp. Here it is. Reduce the range from 1,200 to 600. I don't know if it was enough, ArenaNet. Let's just take it all the way down to 180. Spectral Nut Grab. The I don't know. The spectral tug. The thing. Why the fuck are you nerfing a skill that hasn't changed in 12 and a half years and is one of the worst utility skills of all time? Of all time. I have not complained about Spectral Grasp in years because it is such a double-edged sword of using it. There is just so much skill that has to go into using Spectral Grasp in any game mode that it makes Necro have a utility skill that is actually learnable and does something for the player to understand how the game works. And you're just absolutely going to take it from its mediocreness to just dead. At 600 range, you're talking about the fucking Greatsword on Guardian. You're trying to turn it into a Guardian skill from a weapon at that point. There is no reason at 600 range to pull anything. Because at that point, my shouts will affect it and most of my AoE skills will affect it. Why would I need Spectral Grasp anymore? The life force gain? Oh! The life force gain I usually have to get at usually above 900 range because the enemy has either run away from me or is hitting me from 1200 range anyways. Were you mad because a ranger was shooting someone off on a wall and a Spectral Grasp pulled him down? One of the slowest, most telegraphed pulls in the game? Are you just upset that it pulls 5 things at once? Are you just annoyed that it hits so many ambient creatures out there and keeps you in combat and PvE? Are you annoyed that so many players just pull themselves into the Zerg and die because if they have stability and that Necro does not, they're just gonna fly into the Zerg and die? What are you talking about? Are you nerfing it because maybe, just maybe, 1 out of fucking 1,000 players is able to pull 5 enemies in a Zerg effectively, chilling them, but it does 0 damage, but it just interrupts their skills so they don't have enough time to react? Not the knockdowns from, Revenant. Not the pull from Guardian. Not the freaking Scorpion Wire you can barely see in World vs. World because of the reduced effects. No, those don't need to change from 1200. Mesmer Focus Pull got nerfed down to 1200. But Spectral Grasp, holy shit, it's just killing the game. One of the most skill-based skills in the entire just game that makes Necro unique in its gameplay. You're absolutely just taking it away. For what? And everywhere? You're doing that everywhere? Have you played fucking Necro? It is on everybody's bar because we need life force gain. Or the fact that we're on a Power Reaper in PvE, we need to pull things to us so our skills can actually hit them. Because in the new age of Guild Wars 2, we don't get a 900 range to effectively melee. And if you say something about fucking Axe, you can kiss my goddamn ass. Because at the same time, go read those skills, it does 600 to 900 range. Yes, we can switch to that. But why should I remove my best weapon on Power Reaper? Because they nerfed a utility that does no damage. 0! And it can still pull me in PvE. And it's used as a skill learning moment inside of raids, fractals, and just everywhere. Are you talking about those times in PvP where the guy's standing up there and the Necro literally pulls themselves up to him and just annihilates them? Are you talking about those moments in World vs. World where somebody's standing on the wall of a keep with stability and the Necro Spectral Grasp and throws themselves on top of the wall to get in and changes to Scourge and ports people in because the motherfucker couldn't stay out the wall? Why should Necro get punished because people can't dodge? And I'm not talking about Necro in World vs. World. I'm not talking about Necro in PvP. I'm talking about Necro everywhere gets punished because you can't fix that fucking skill for World vs. World. That is not acceptable. Do not change that skill. Go back to the drawing board, reduce the amount of targets, or give it some fucking damage because it needs to be buffed in PvE to stop putting us in combat with some ambient creature somewhere because it's so unreliable that if I use it in Janthir Sentry at certain events, my Spectral Grasp doesn't go and grasp the enemy, it just flies up into the fucking sky. It can be blocked, it can be reflected, it can be obstructed, and here's the crazy part, if one of those get obstructed before the other ones reach the other enemies, they just disappear. Nothing gets pulled. It is the most unreliable utility skill in the game. It's fine where it's at because its mediocreness requires you to learn and play at a higher skill. Reducing it to 600, nobody's gonna fucking use it. Or it doesn't change the fact that they're gonna pull people as the Zerg comes through. Or still get up on the wall. Insane. In-fucking sane. Who gives a fuck about Ranger? What's actually interesting is this stuff. They're actually making traits specifically for, like, the pets. That's interesting. I think that's about it. Revenant. Power-based Renegade, Vindicator will both have increased damage in PvE, and Roiling Mist is getting a healing component to boost power-based Revenants in PvP specifically. Burst of Strength increase the power coefficient strike from 1.0 to 1.2 in PvP and World vs. World. That's interesting. Renegade. Razor's Claws, Edge. But anyways, let's see what they did with Vindicator's overpoweredness. Forerunner of Death increased the power coefficient of death drop from 3.75 to 4.65 in PvE. Hold on. So, we're not going to change Vindy at all for World versus World? And when a Zerg is running like 15 Vindicators, that isn't a signal of something's up? It's a game of, do I have enough Vindicators right now with Commanders? And you haven't heard any of that. Nothing. Zero. Have you been in fucking World versus World at all? Or were you too busy trying to figure out how to nerf Spectral Grasp into the fucking floor? What does that change? A 0.9 increase in PvE. Just, God. What? What? Are we playing the same game? Are we playing the same game? Oh my God, Thief. Okay. Look, I would be more mad at this, but at the same time, like, I've already talked about it with like Mesmer and Engineer and stuff. Blinding Power will once again be an instant skill to make it more fluid while still retaining its stun breaking capabilities. Did you forget the whole reason you changed Blinding Powder was to prevent people from accidentally pulling themselves out of stealth? They would use Blinding Powder and then hit something with their one skill and come out. Why it had casting time was to get them to break out of attacking to make sure that they didn't waste Blinding Powder. Being an instant counter, great, but not retaining that stealth was such a huge thing when it got changed in the first place. So you just undid something that was not only a buff to Thief, but also a nerf at the same time. Balanced. It was one of the most balancing things because it allowed skilled players and other players to be more on the same level for Blinding Powder because there's this bit of time to make sure they're not accidentally breaking out of stealth. A skilled player will stop attacking much faster and still have the chance to get effective use out of that stealth. I just I have to laugh because I'm like, an actual balance change that just got unbalanced. Now it's just fucking chaos again. Anything else from this? Backstab increased the front power coefficient from 0.9 to 1.0 and back power coefficient from 1.8 to 2.0 in PvP and World versus Worlds. I guess. You know, backstab is back, maybe. I don't know. Increase the cooldown refund from 15% to 25% in PvP and World versus World. And provision is pretty good, but Signets of Power increase the initiative game from 2 to 3. I don't know. That's everywhere. So, you know, maybe that's good. I don't know. Warrior's adjustments are largely focused on tuning Berserker in competitive modes. Berserker's burst potential is getting softened in World versus World, and some alternative weapon choices are getting improvements for PvP. Berserker's sustainability is seeing a potential increase through enhancements to... Anyway, I'm just going to shout about it because it doesn't matter, because I'm going to go down here to fucking Spellbreaker. Break enchantments reduce the power coefficient from 1.0 to 0.7 in World versus World only. That's a great change. Where are the rest of the Spellbreaker changes? I get this, because people don't know how to dodge. I get this. 100%. I get it. I get this. Okay? People don't know how to dodge. Got to give him a chance, all right? You don't want that arc divider that only hits once now. Doesn't go 1-2 as a little clue of I'm getting hit by something really hard. No. Now it just slams you for 22,000 damage. Now we're going to reduce that down to 18k. Got it. My question is, why didn't Spellbreaker get the same thing when it could also do 16k hits plus, and Banner just is going to do its thing? I don't see anything. Snap Pull, increase the cooldown from 8 seconds to 25 seconds, reduce the number of targets from 5 to 3 in World versus World. So you pulled a Necro change here. Okay, I get it. You pulled a Necro change thing here, but I feel like we need competitive changes than PvE changes, right? And I feel like most of what I'm seeing in the balance patches lately are just almost like it's random. There's a number thing, they roll it, it gives them a class, it gives them a skill, it gives them nerf or buff, and then the effect. You know, change the boon or lower the coefficient by this amount. You know, even that's randomly drawn sometimes, I feel. But even so, a lot of these changes, I just don't know where this is happening. I don't know where this is happening in the game. I don't know what the skills are doing. If they do not change Spectral Grasp, they're listening to the community, they understand maybe they need to go back to the drawing board, they understand there's something they missed, all right? It's a learning moment. If they do change Spectral Grasp and reduce it from 600, I want a fucking book written on why this skill is being changed, because you gave me no reason. Let us go into the comments for a moment. Should Randolph coming in? These feel like changes just for the sake of changes, which a lot of balance patches sort of do. The last one, I understood what they're aiming for, but I just don't think it was as effective because of some of the same things. They were just changes to be changes, right? Do the vast majority really notice or care about changes to coefficients of a quarter of a unit? I mean, some yes, some no. I mean, some people are just going to keep rolling the same thing, right? Like, these coefficient changes, they're just, like, if it's bad enough, they'll notice, like, I'm not doing a lot of damage anymore, right? But other times, like, no. But in World versus World, it's extremely important, coefficients, because it's an exponential change. If they reduce something's damage by 25% and it affects the entire Zerg, that's a lot of DPS loss, right? Same thing, if they increase something by 40%, that's a huge DPS gain exponentially for the Zerg. If more people are running that build. Vindicator, right? Like, when they do these changes, they almost need two separate teams, a PvE people, because that's the way I think it used to be. Like, changes for competitive mode used to have to go through PvE, which is insane. But at the same time, now it just feels like the balance team, I really do feel like they just go to meta battle, see what the meta is, look at the data, see if people are actually running that shit, which they are, because everybody says go to meta battle or anywhere and get a build, right? Or maybe in Snow Crows, who knows? And then they go to the wiki, look at the skill, go, yeah, okay. And then go to the forums, maybe look it up, see if somebody complained about it, and then change it. I don't know. I don't know what they do all day. I don't know what their job is. I don't know how these balances get here without math. Like, Spectral Grasp being nerfed by half its range is random. There is no way you would nerf it by 50% immediately. Or the problem with it is the fact that Necro can be pulled to something more than likely. Just get rid of that. No pull in the game should pull the person to the thing. I don't get it. Warriors does it. I use that snap pull on Warrior or the Greatsword 5 on Necro. That's the problem. There's no downside to using it. Except the enemy dodged, right? Or you were blind or whatever, right? Just normal things that affect skills. But when you have these 1200 range things, why is Dragon Hunter getting the pass at an unblockable, barely able to see in a massive Zerg pull. Same thing with the engineer pull. So they get the pass. Why? Nothing like just being picked out of a Zerg and just dying. Nothing like that. But the pull that could pull you into that Zerg from you using it, that's too powerful. Fuck me, dude. Harbinger still doesn't have an Underwater Shroud 4. Okay, though that's shit. But I marked some of these. Where are they? That's what you call that. Yes, it's noticeable when your highest damage skills do more damage. Are we gonna have a choo-choo train sound effect for people who tippy-toe too close to the ledge? Or in big red letters, warning, pull ink? Not my fault they get pulled. I make them fly. It's nice. We all have a great time. Don't listen to the screaming. Here's my thing about grasping darkness. When you can't see it at all, problem. When it's obviously you're telling people don't go up on the wall or don't go up on a wall without being on a mount and they don't listen to you, they get pulled and they die, it's a learning moment. I, as a commander, get so pissed off when I stop somewhere near a wall and people just run up the fucking stairs to look outside. I know what's outside. Danger. I know it's on the other side of that fucking wall. Pulls. If you run up there and get pulled off, I'm gonna yell at you for being stupid. It's a learning moment because you're being dumb. Especially if I go, don't go up on the wall, and you do it anyways. And if I say that 5-6 times when we come up to a wall and I see people run up, don't go up on the wall, and you still do it 8, 9, 10th time, you need to die. You need to be pulled by Grasping Darkness, Scorpion Wire, Dragon Hunter F1. I'm forgetting one. Magnet pull from a focus pull from Mesmer. You deserve it. All right? Don't go up on the wall. Don't go up on the wall. And if ArenaNet wants people to go up on the wall without being pulled like that, make the walls wider. So people can have, that thing. Reducing the range of Spectral Grasp from 1200 to 600 in all game modes. Why? Just why? I don't know. AoE's everywhere. I don't think that's what's going to happen. A lot of them aren't going to be there. I'm more than sure you guys make these and other changes by spinning a wheel. That's exactly how it feels to me. Anytime soon, we'll have a CC skill with a vibrant telegraph and loud alarm. Don't go up on the wall. In PvP, I'm not really sure how people feel about pulls there, but a lot of times you're dodging anyways. I was going to try to do this faster, but it may not be as fast as I want it to be. But actually, no, there is a fast way to do this. Spectral Grasp. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. 50 responses just to the April 15th balance update preview for Spectral Grasp. Anything before that? Nope. Just recently. Actually, I think it's just specifically in this topic. I'm sure if I looked elsewhere, there'd be Spectral Grasp is too strong. Let's read some of the comments. Bam. The nerf to Spectral Grasp is especially surprising. Cutting its range from 1200 down to 600 makes it already a niche skill, essentially worthless in most scenarios. This isn't even Spectral Grasp. Spectral Grasp is already a bad skill with bad tracking in the first place, an absurd cooldown, and you give up a utility slot on Necro for it, which is hell already. It's a dead skill now. Also, Spectral Ring is not that effective World versus World anymore since everyone is running around with perma stability. I know exactly what they're saying. But yeah, bad tracking. Yeah, it's not a fan of Spectral Grasp change, especially for PvE. I agree with the majority of the community on Necro Spectral Grasp nerf. Fine for World versus World since you can currently pull 5 people over a wall with no line of sight, which is absolute bullshit. I don't know what they're talking about. My guess is it's server lag. But if 5 people are standing over the ledge and use Spectral Grasp and they start to dodge backwards and it still grabs them by arcing over, I mean, maybe that's a problem, but reducing it down to 3 people is just as fair. Why the range change? I don't know. Or make it 1. Make it 1 person in World versus World. If it's such a powerful skill. I'm not a Necro player at all, but even I recognize how absurd that is for PvE. That's crazy. I'll chime in. The majority are baffled by the gratuitous Spectral Grasp nerf. Where and how exactly was the skill a problem that it couldn't be resolved more elegantly than being rendered it more less useless to all Necro specs? I mean, I don't know. Meanwhile, Spectral Grasp pulls them next to Necro, meaning you need a large AoEs to cleave, and it takes longer to pull adds for max range. If you absolutely have to nerf this in PvE, at the very least, make it 900 range. At 900 range, too, you're going to run into a lot of problems of not being able to use it effectively. 900 range would be better because we're talking about a 25% nerf, but again, it doesn't change the fact that the skill has had issues, and those issues have just always been the sticking points of Spectral Grasp. So, yeah. What the heck is wrong with Spectral Grasp? Has some developer a vendetta against this skill because they got pulled as a slubling Slotosaur? These changes act as someone is throwing darts blindly. I mean, Spectral Grasp is going to create a lot of vitriol, all right? But it does feel like it's being targeted for some reason. Like, I got pulled as a willbender and my life has been ruined. Spectral Grasp is one of the few skills that allows you to show some athleticism across all Necromancer builds. It is often used to ambush multiple mobs, pull newly spawned adds, and cluster ranged targets, all things Necromancer relies on and a lot in the open world and instance content. It's true. It's true. It's good utility when you can use it. Spectral Grasp. Reduce the range from 12 to 600. Excuse me? WTF? The skill can already be reflected. This is dumb. Why would anyone use this now over Grasping Darkness? Which, by the way, is 900 range pull and can't be reflected. I don't know. The Spectral Grasp change should be for World versus World only, but I don't think your code base has logic for reducing the range of skills based on game modes. This person's talking straight up the legacy code. The PvE meta is stale and boring. It's been the same for so long. Can we continue to assume that your bounce team does not PvE? Obviously not, because they're nerfing Spectral Grasp, which is essential for a lot of people who are training people as Necros in raids and fractals. Spectral Grasp, one of the best Necro utilities of all time. I don't know about that. CPC, definitely way up there on the list in my opinion. Now on the chopping block. Couldn't have at least gone to 900 first and see if that worked out, or be reduced range exclusively in competitive, which is where I imagine the problem with it comes from. I have no idea. Maybe also it's like AFK farmers. The only other thing I can think of, not to give ArenaNet any more excuses, but like AFK farmers are using Spectral Grasp to pull things in to auto kill them with their minions. Maybe. But even then, I mean, they're probably botting then, right? And that's against the rules. So ban them. If that's the case. Because you shouldn't be auto farming. AFK farming, if they're clicking the skill, like they're not paying attention, they're just clicking the skill every once in a while to pull things in and kill them. That's one thing. But if they're botting, I mean, that's against the rules, right? We only get sticks and rocks in World versus World with every update. It'd be much simpler. You can actually use math to figure it out. I'd rather have Spectral Grasp reduced to 1 target than have its range reduced. There's not much point in it with the short range. Reaper Greatsword 5 hits 5 targets and still has 900 range. If it really must be reduced to measly 600 range, should be at least unblockable or remove stability. I don't even know if that That would be okay. I mean, Dragon Hunter's F1 pull is unblockable. That, if they just want to copy paste the skill into different classes, I guess. But the crazy thing about the Dragon Hunters is it's an F1 skill, meaning it doesn't take a utility slot. Necro has to give up a utility slot for that. Same thing with Scorpion Wire. You have to give up a utility slot. So I don't know. I don't know. Where's the balance? Where's the balance, ArenaNet? Bad news is we will shoot World versus World engineers in the knee with it, and oh look, no Willbender nerfs again. Spectral Grasp changes because the ArenaNet dev on Willbender got pulled by it, I presume, so it had to be nerfed. And where's my underwater mech? The model could go underwater. My guess is they're talking about like you know, flesh golem and stuff could go underwater, but mechs can't. Mechs can't go underwater? I never knew that. I'm learning today. But there's no reason for Spectral Grasp nerf. Lol, look at those random players that actually do use it in Zerg fights. It just gets reflected in the user and or people in your team Zerg get pulled out to their deaths. As a Necro main who only plays World versus World, this is nerf makes zero sense at all. Did it search backwards? That's what it did. It's gonna get more. I want to see the new ones. Hold on. There's got to be new ones because I did mark these as I read them to make sure that I saw to count them later. But this was so much easier just to search it. Hold on. It didn't actually go back. Work. Spectral Grasp nerf is uncalled for. 1200 range is fine for a telegraph projectile skill with its downsides. Thief balance is a mess like usual. You increase Black Powder's initiative cost in the last patch, and this time you add a blast finisher to Shadows. I don't know what they're talking about there. Some thief stuff. I think you're mixing up Spectral Grasp, pulling utility, and grasping darkness. Necromancer, Greatsword 5. Being the same skill. Spectral Grasp is one that does 600 range. Yes, don't mix those up. Stop doing that. It's not the same thing. Which is, yes, abysmal and basically deleting one of the best and most iconic Necromancer utility skills. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I read that one. I don't know. I don't know. Apparently, I isn't bad. Waits to test your metal. His legendary challenge mode is live. Yeah! Did they just post this? Yeah, 2 minutes ago. Let me go down here to Noxy. Me looking at the April balance preview at Necro. Spectral Grasp reduce the range from 1200 to 600. But why? Hope they turn this into a PvP World versus World only change. I'm having so much fun with Condi Reaper in open world right now. Yeah, Condi Reaper used Spectral Grasp too. I think I talked about that a little yesterday while we were playing Chained Echoes. It was important to get things close so you can build up the bleed stacks and stuff, and Spectral Grasp was a great choice for it. It's already so fucking clunky to be honest in open world. No clue why they wanted to nerf it in PvE. As a ranger mesmer person, yeah. Jesus Christ! ArenaNet, please! Anyhow, we'll see if there's any patch notes later. Oh, the game is about to kick me. Rest in peace, Spectral Grasp, because when people were complaining about transfusion, ArenaNet still annihilated that, so, you know, it's all right where it is now, but not really all the same. So, there we go. Let's go ahead and talk about the gem store for today and the past and that kind of thing. There's a new avian aspect helm skin. There's your Tengu, sort of. If you want to be Howard the Duck, this is your chance. No, you do not come with a tail. It's just a helmet. That's my legendary weapons. And armor. It's World versus World armor. If we nerf all pulls and CCs from World versus World, stability won't matter. That's true. That's true. Let's do that. What was that? I thought it was a beard hair, but it wasn't. Anyhow. Fashion poses emote. These have the... if you have not seen any of the fashion pose stuff, you're living in a... What's that called? Sensory, whatever. Come on, everybody's been out there taking pictures. It's all over Reddit. Furious, ferocious mount stuff. Did we go over this last time? I think we did, yeah. That's still there. And all the pickaxe stuff is on sale right now. The March Madness stuff is still going. Recharging teleport to friend is 25% off if you would like that. Rune Crafter Salvage-O-Matic is there if you'd like that, 450. Copperfed was there, right? Maybe not. But yeah. Bank tabs are 25% off. Bag slots are 25% off. I think material storage is 25% off, but don't hold me to that. I don't think I can see it. Additional crafting license is 25% off. No, I don't have the max ones. Yeah, there's Copper-Fed Salvage-O-Matic. Build storage. Build template. Character slots, 25% off. Equipment template. That's the big one right there that a lot of people need is the equipment template. It's so dumb. You don't get any of those for free. What am I looking at? What's in that? Copper-Fed Salvage-O-Matic. Shared inventory slot. Unbreakable. That's a great thing for a new player. Is this reduced in price? No, you do get all this stuff? That's weird. I guess you can have a Copper-Fed Salvage-O-Matic on most people. A lot of good deals in the gym store. Upgraded bag slot expansion. It's a bag slot expansion with the 28 slot Black Lion satchel, which is pretty alright. And then, of course, some outfits and stuff. We can go on all day. What else? All upgrades on sale this week. This is back for this stuff. It's a 400 gem, 2 Black Lion chest keys, a heroic booster, guaranteed die unlock, and a guaranteed wardrobe unlock. Not a bad price. So in EU, one of the changes that are going to go through for microtransactions specifically, not just for Guild Wars 2, but for all games, I believe. So any games that have like gems and that kind of stuff, instead of it saying something like when I go in here and it says the helm skin's 400 gems, they will also have to give you an exact money price for your location. So no longer can it just be 400 gems or whatever. Those are some changes going on in the EU. I think Mighty Teapot put out a video on it. I think that's where I saw one of them. And then somebody else also had a video out in it, just in general for MMOs that I saw. But I haven't read into it too much, but I do know that's what they're aiming for. I think that's a great change. I think that'll help people understand how much a company is charging you for some pixels. Because when it is 400 gems, if you're not actually paying money for these gems, you're converting gold into gems, it's not a big deal. But some people out there just keep swiping the credit card. And then they're like, man, I spent $100 on Guild Wars 2. Yeah, it's really easy when you have a 1600 gem mount. That's $20. But you know, it's not saying $20. But at the same time, like, even if this was a straight up penny conversion, $4 for some pixels, is it worth it to you? Same thing. It's that mount. Even though it's $20 in gems, technically, even if it was dollar conversion, one gem equaled a penny. Is $16 for a mount skin that you see every once in a while? Is it worth $16? That's how I actually visualize the gems myself, but not everybody is able to do that. So I think those kind of changes are extremely important to microtransactions, not for Guild Wars 2 alone, but just in general to see if you're getting a good value for your money, which 9 times out of 10 you're not. But the gem store does fund the game, so spend all your money on Guild Wars 2. Forget those other MMOs, they're trash. 50 gold for 123 gems. And 50 gold isn't hard to make, so again, it's weird to see those kinds of conversions and stuff like that. So Black Lion chest. These changed. Black Lion Mastery Coffer, which has things worth 10 silver now, but if you need experience for any of the Into Dragons, Icebird Saga, Path to Fire, Heart of Thorns, or Central Tyria masteries, this is a great way to get it done. That comes with every chest opened. Inside, we have a Synergetics headset pack, which has these headphones. My guess is this is sort of for I don't think it does anything else. Sort of for like the Super Adventure Box time and things like that. Super Adventure Box will be happening soon. Did they release anything? Bam. Let me see. Oh, I'm not getting the full effect. I thought there was more to these. Maybe it's 2 skins? But it's supposed to have wings come off the back of it with like a holographic thing. I don't know. Not there. In the preview. And of course they have the infused Aurora leggings. I guess not. But yeah. If you like that, there it is. The other thing they have in here is the Steel Locust weapon set. Weapon only. Weapon only. The Sura isn't going to be able to show this off too well, but it also has those flower petals effects. We had the weapon, those new weapons. This fits pretty well with those weapons. Not 100%, but they're there. It's back when they actually made hammers. So, you know, there's that one. And then they have the Paladin. Wait, what is this called? Paladin's Decree. I thought it was something else for a moment. Weapon set. Back when they were making hammers. This is a dinkier hammer, but it's more of the classic whatever. Medieval times stuff. So if you need those skins, there they are. Already have them done. Glyph of the Tailor is there. Glyph of the Leatherworker is also there. Meh. Ancient Wood, Ghost Pepper, Orichalcum, Lotus. 3 out of the 4 are pretty good, but other than that, meh. Are these worth it to open? Yes and no. It really depends if you need that experience, if you want those headsets, and whether you like the weapon skins. That's always usually the case or whatever, but value-wise, I don't think they're really that good this time around. You know, but everybody has their own taste and flavor and stuff like that for the Black Lion's chests. I have no keys, not going to open any of them. I don't know what this is. I'm going to steal it, though. Anything else need to talk about in here? Here's that Forest Whip. Wisp. Jeez. It looks like they reset the stats on it, because I did choose stats. Maybe? Yeah, I did choose stats because I needed to check if the stats were there. I don't remember if it came with stats, but now it should be correct. So, there was an infusion on it. I took the infusion off. It's on my Necro. So there it is. Gift of Mistburn's Barons. Did I automatically get the achievement for... whatchamacallit? Wait, did they move? Oh, they did move this here. This was in Mistburn's... Oh, I thought it was part of the mastery. Uh-oh. It is. It is still part of the mastery. Okay, good. Because then I will finish that. I could not get gold in either one of the adventures. There is one of the Coden that just I could not find. Either everything lied to me or the game is broken. I don't know. I couldn't find it. And also, this is just a dumb one because you have to get every projectile perfectly thrown to the guy. So, again, those adventures are stupid. I'm not going to go through that again. Find all the lost scouts and search and rescue while staying on your war claw. You have to get both of these at the same time. Why they have stacking achievements like that, I don't know at all. I just don't get it. Help the Jade Construct defeat the other champions. No idea. I've been on that map. I felt like I've done every event and have never seen We Are the Champions. I was going for another one. I don't remember the name of it now. But more than a little bit, maybe. Yeah, finish the keep areas clear while the golems gather sample events. I did this several times. It never happened. And then I caught the event, tail end of it, went and helped kill the champ and got it immediately. I don't know. I don't know. But there it is. I have a mastery point sitting here. I have a mastery point sitting here. And I think I still have to get the mastery from the story. So that's what I did with Janther Wilds. I'm just looking at the achievements really quick. Where is the... I've done some convergences, a couple of them. Just if I find myself getting on earlier than 7 o'clock, I'll go out there and do that. So I got some achievement points with that. What's the next tier? 10? For tier 2? Oh, mastery point? Wait, no, that's tier 1. The Relic of Mount Balror? Holy shit, what am I going to do with that? How many times you got to do it? 50? I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen. Hold on. The first time doing it was worth 0. Okay. Double checking. But, yeah, 45,625 achievement points. Where is the, where is the achievement where you find all the regions? Janther in general? Explore all the areas in Mistburn. It did not give me that achievement. So it looks like maybe I have to go out there to get it. We'll see. We have time, we'll go out there. Explores all areas in an as yet undiscovered place. So we still have the other map anyways. You can't finish this if you wanted to. I haven't really done anything in any of these places for this decoration stuff, but again, a ton of achievements there, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Raids! This is the place where I won't be getting the mastery points. There's 3 of them sitting in there. I don't know if there's more, but I won't be able to get all the Janther Wilds mastery points because I won't be doing the raid. Unless somebody carries me through it and I can stomach it. Lots of achievement points here as well. But it really doesn't matter. I still have 13 mastery points after completing the new masteries anyways. So all of these are done. So I got all that done. Yeah. There's not much to talk about with the new update, the second major update. I'm not going to do a review episode over it. I just can't come up with a reason to do anything with that specifically. I just, again, I don't know what I would do with it. I just don't feel like a lot of the content is for me, so it would just sound extremely negative. It isn't that bad. It's a 7.5 out of 10 expansion, so, you know, it's not terrible, but it's not the greatest content we've ever had. What? You're throwing food in there? There's a bunch of blueberries? What's going on? I want to dye it blue. In fact, there's not a lot of blue dye stuff in the world, son. Comparison what the blue dye is. Is there anything else? We didn't get new blackline weapons, I don't think. Right? Let me get on my warrior. My spellbreaker for World versus World. That's what I've been doing with him. If they nerf Spectral Grasp, I am very unsure whether or not more likely I won't use that utility anymore. But I'm not sure what I would change it to or anything like that. So again, it's just sort of it's just a weird change. Oh yeah, I can go to whatchamacallit? Armistice Bastion. Okay. Where am I going? Let me tell you, Strawberry Peach Rockstar. It's so good to me. Other people are gonna drink it and be like, "Oh my god, it's tart." But I don't know. I eat lemons, so like not really. I don't go to the store specifically to buy lemons to eat. But if there's like a lemon wedge, I will eat the lemon wedge. Not the skin. Don't be gross. Yeah, Imperial stuff still there. Okay. They have the headphones. And they have the pose. By the way, if you ever want to see the new stuff, Center of Divinity's Reach on Duena's Road, High Road, right? Right up here. Before you go to the top place. It's where everybody displays their fashion. You can usually see the new stuff here too. Is that... Are they talking to me? They do know who I am. Okay. Alright, anyhow. Oh my god. Oh. People notice I joined their Discord server. Okay, let's look here. What else do we have to cover today? I know I've done a lot of talking, which is not unusual, but it's just been about the game? What? No rants about anything else? But I definitely wanted to talk about this stuff because it's important. Oh yeah, I didn't get the heart vendor done for the new map. So the Barons. I'm trying to figure out what I want to call it. Misburned Barons. But the Barons, I didn't finish the heart every day because World versus World, and then I sort of forgot that I didn't do my dailies, and then it just sort of spiraled for a couple days there. So I wasn't able to get it done every day to have it done today on stream. So I apologize. And what I'm talking about is there's an achievement for the Renowned Hearts down here, repeatable one. I'm about to hit this. I don't think there's another achievement here to do them again like the other ones, because you did the 14 and then you did it again, right? Somewhere else, maybe? I know what I'm talking about. There was like 120 achievement points total. But maybe that one was just doing extra hearts. I'm not 100%. Oh yeah, the Mersatz game. I haven't done this. Yeah, I don't know. I've sort of just lost interest in this expansion, which is sort of sad. But I've had a little fun in the Mount Balror convergence for sure. There is one. Okay. So there's a repeatable one, and they give you 15 achievement points. So I'm definitely gonna want to see what that is. Probably just another renowned chest one, but it's about getting it done 15 more times. This is Treasure Hunter for digging up things that I've done 27 times. 27 times. Well, yeah, 27 times 50.
I'm rich, you know.
13 plus 31. 1,381 dig spots I have found. So, this one, I just enjoy finding loot. So that was a fun achievement. Again, with all things video game related, there's some really great stuff, and there's really fantastic stuff, and then there's just the overall feel and that kind of stuff. The overall feel just isn't getting me. But there's other things. Oh, I got it. Okay, gave me, but
I'm rich, you know.
did I get the achievement point? Wasn't I at 45,625 without it? Maybe I have to go to the map. Oh yeah, this is my inventory. Usually my inventory is really empty, but I've just stopped opening things. And I've opened things. I don't know. You know I'm not okay when my inventory looks like this. Let me look at the Wizard's Vault really quick too, just to cover that stuff. I bought both of the Lesser Essences of Gold and the Legendary Weapon, and I bought the Wayward Wisp quest line. The Sky Stage's Throne is also done. I actually think the next thing I'm gonna get is these skins here. So these 3 skins, and then I'm gonna focus the weapons, the exclusives, because everything else down here is either found in the game elsewhere or it's not that important, you know, especially transmutation charges. But again, they have those sliders for like the Mystic coins and that kind of stuff too now. So buying that stuff, I can just save up my acclaim and not waste my time clicking and clicking and clicking to get 5. So the build template expansion and the build storage expansion, I will probably definitely get too, because those are gem store items. Very simple. So yeah, I'll get some of this stuff worth money, of course, but the exclusive stuff will be first for legacy rewards. If I was to stop playing this game, and only do updates and stuff, the exclusive rewards and things like that would probably still be the thing I focus on. But it would be like specifically the one I want. As long as I'm still doing dailies and stuff, I'll be able to get everything in the Wizard's Vault and just be buying gold. Noxy also had a post on Blue Sky about like resetting the Wizard's Vault without a major update or anything like that, so we don't have to wait. That plays into the next expansion being released later. I do have to agree that's probably how they should probably start doing it. No matter what, every 90 days or whatever, just give us a Wizard's Vault refresh so we have something to spend on acclaim besides just injecting so much gold into the game. But maybe ArenaNet doesn't see it that way. I'm not sure. But yeah, let me go out to the new map just really quickly before I talk about the future of Guild Wars 2, which actually won't take too long. What else am I talking about today? I don't have my thing open. Oh, that's much easier. Interesting. Why does it not show? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shut up, me. No, we did cover it. It was World versus World update, which we talked about in the patch notes. And the... Please do it that way, Mystic. Coin prices do not need to go higher. Spent 1k gold on 500 coins the other day and I cried inside. Just 1k, that's it. Change your ground target to lock to target. The hazardous one is easy. You change your ground target to lock target? You don't understand my problem. Chaz, what you just said, I absolutely just lost chat and everything. Like, Firefox just crashed on me. I don't even have my dashboard up. It's gone. Am I live? Is this still working? Odd. It brought the patch notes back up, but not the If you're still here, thanks, Midian. I got it back up. I went to change back to the tab and it just crashed. I think it has something to do with another game I have running. Hey, what did I get? Nice. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Hey, let's refresh that. What? What am I playing? Guild Wars 2? Am I? Oh, yes, save. Shh. I'm secretly playing you right now because we're totally playing Guild Wars 2. Hey, Mystic Lock Chest. I'm so excited about a dig spot over the new map. Yeah! Or mythical lock chest. Open that baby up. Look at that. Everybody's like, should you open the major coded caches, blah, blah, blah? Yes. Get more unusual coins, which I'm at 14,000 of. All right, new map. Let's go out there and see if it triggers anything. I'm going to talk about this new map very quickly. And since the north side should run faster, I might come out here and do this. Be a lot more motivated to try to finish those other achievements, but we'll see. Yeah, see, I don't have the heart done. I'd still have to do 2 of them. Looks like it is running a bit faster. So, good. So, pretty much there's 3 lanes. There's one that runs to the middle to this chest, one that runs to the top, and one that runs to the bottom. The main goal in those chests, as far as I know, is to get a bunch of the map currency called the Curious Marsat Ruin Shard. I have 160 of those myself. It's not hard to build them up. Again, I only have 12 days of the heart completed, and I have 160 of them. The end chest, if you get the biggest bonus, will give you the most stuff out of the chest. Mostly, it's just useless loot, that kind of thing. They have these shards of the Mistburn Barons. More than likely, these are 20 per account. I think you're probably going to need as many of these as you needed for the spear. The next map will probably have the same thing. So for the back piece, you're probably going to need that. This stuff is already here if you want to check it out. You need to be doing rifts and stuff for the back piece. I already bought the mini that was here. But on the second page, there's this other stuff. I heard this stuff can drop. Not 100% sure if it actually can. But you need 200 of the map currency to buy the endless Yagan Tonic. The mini Janther Warg is another 200, and mini Bard Vel is another 200, so you need 600 total. If you get one of the others, you can trade it over for the one you're missing. And then after that, I don't think you can do anything with it. It's just a waste, I'm pretty sure. The other cool part about this map is that you can get renown tokens for the other map. And you can get as many as you want. So I could buy 96 Janthir Century Renown tokens and do those hearts every single freaking day. The reason you would do that is only for one reason, that has to finish the achievement over and over and over and over, so you can get more of the currencies that you need that way. Or you can just do what a normal sane human being would do and turn the Mersat ruin shards here into directly the map resource that you need. But if you need like honeycomb and that kind of stuff, will have to finish events and hearts in those maps, or the Mersat other tokens that were there. Curious Mersat tokens. I don't know why they named two map currencies so close together, but yeah. Is the heavy crafting bag worth it? I don't know. It just comes down to if 4 of them is better than these, which these are like a gold. 3 of these could be worth not even that close, but it's half the price. So yeah, it's worth more than these. You have to do the math. The scavenge obsidian weapons are also here, but you need many more of the map currency. There is a total of 17 weapons because we're missing 2 underwater weapons. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15 weapons. That doesn't make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, good. I'm not stupid, but I am all the same. But anyways, there's 17 weapons to get here. There is a collection for these weapons and that kind of stuff. If you haven't seen these, I guess we did check these out, right? So they have like the obsidian with more of an orange flare on the side of them, an actual hammer, but it's like in the Coden style, the lowland Coden style and that kind of stuff. There's the great sword. I think they look cool. I don't know if I would ever use them, of course. So, yeah, fun stuff there. There's a collection for that. We haven't really talked about collections last time, so let me touch on those really quick. What the heck is this? Is that a new thing? It's in the rare one, right? So these are the relics, the core relics. You have to get these somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where you get those, actually, so... Scavenge obsidian weapons right here. 17 of them. It's for 5 achievement points. There it is. And I can't remember if it unlocks something else. But maybe that's it. There's so many collections. I don't know when they have come in, when they were done. Other than that, there are 3 vendors, so finish the heart, get that stuff, get the map currency, get that stuff. I've been told this is only a 40-hour map. Spending about 40 hours total on these maps will get you all the achievements done and practically a lot of the stuff that you need. So there's the obsidian, there's the armor. So it is the new ones, the true sight armor. Are these guys different, or is this just the different... Why is it showing me in the armor? Wait, that's not me. That's the NPC. Okay. So there it is. Does not come with Spectral Agony. What a waste. So those are the 2 collections. This dude... I don't need that one. But they also have the scavenge obsidian weapons for the unusual coins. This might be the cheaper way to go about it. It's 5 gold, right? Titan plate is there. That kind of stuff. Let me go back to this. I swear they said we're going to get 6 nodes. Am I wrong about that? Nobody answered me on that last time. I don't think so, or at least I missed it in chat. I swear they said we're going to get 6 nodes, but we ended up buying 4. But yeah. By the way, the achievements, the achievements are what this stuff is, so don't buy these, then go finish the achievements. Go finish the achievements, and then if you don't want to do those achievements, come buy these. Just so you know. Reunification, we already did all that. But I'm pretty sure I got all the nodes. Anyways, I can't remember. Anyhow, that's pretty much it. The update, other than that, the legendary challenge mode is happening today. If you want to watch that race, I'm sure there's things going on Twitch. It's going to be extremely important to a lot of people to get world first and that kind of thing, and who gets world first where or however it works. So if you want to check that out, it'll be an exciting time for that kind of stuff. I will not be doing it. I haven't done any of the challenge modes, new fractals, anything like that from the expansions. I don't plan to, but that content will be there. Other than that, with the map and PvE, just with that simple stuff to be done, I have months to complete it. I'm in no rush to complete this stuff. That's one of the biggest mistakes, I think, is I just run the content until I go off the cliff. Then there's nothing to do. So I'm just going to wait. But I do want to talk about October of this year. October of this year, we are going to be getting our expansion instead of August this year. That's going to make the Wizards Vault very weird. Like Noxie pointed out, it's important that we know what's going on with the game, and it's important that we know why. And ArenaNet said it was to prevent crunch. I believe that. My biggest problem with it coming out in October is that it's going to collide with Halloween. But I think they still want to get it out early so they can still keep doing their cadence as best as they can and that kind of thing. Now, the speculation around that when it comes to, like, why is ArenaNet taking longer on this next expansion? It's probably quality stuff too, and extra polish and that kind of thing. But more than likely, what I saw when I saw the post, which I should probably just go find it so I can show you, but, you know, I'm being dumb. Let me find it. Let me find the post. Let me grab the post here, and then I can do this because I is smart. So let me go back here really quick. Hold on. I did it on one, but not the other. Fantastic. I thought they were connected, but obviously not. But anyways, this was from Ruby. It says, "Hey everyone, I want to share an update regarding the launch timing of our next expansion for Guild Wars 2. While we've released our last two expansions in August, we've made the decision to shift our next expansion launch to October. This extra time will allow us to ensure the expansion meets our quality standards without crunching. This change for the 6th expansion will not impact the release timing of the final quarterly update for the Guild Wars 2 Janther Wilds." So that's still going to release probably June. We appreciate your patience and support as we, like June, July. We appreciate your patience and support as we take this needed time to bring the next chapter of Guild Wars 2 to life. Holy crap, I know how to read. We'll be sharing more information about our next expansion this summer, and in the meantime, we have more content and events coming to keep the adventure going, including final quarterly update release for Guild Wars 2 Janther Wilds. As always, thanks for being part of the Guild Wars 2 community. That was from Josh Davis, game director. Lots of speculation because of that. And I just want to say it is more than likely because of quality standards. Is it because of Janther Wilds? Probably. The feedback they're getting from it and stuff like that. The way they changed the maps from 3 to 4. Are they going to continue with that? Are they going to continue with other things? Are they going to be changing other maps for story? Are we going to be going back to places? That kind of thing. Where are we headed for the story? We'll find out at the end of Janther Wilds. So whatever they bring us in October will be continuation of that story. Now, some of that speculation has also gone into the negative. There's a big risk of ArenaNet having layoffs. That is true. The game industry itself right now has stabilized in the sense of layoffs and things like that. But with the way things are going politically in the United States and elsewhere, I would not be surprised if we would see more cuts. Because companies are going to be like, oh, we're fine, no matter how terrible the economy is, right? It's all about the stockholders and things like that. ANET keeping their head above water. They're doing a very great job. That probably has something to do with Josh Davis and the higher ups there, Colin Johansson. They're probably doing that. Now, the other thing people are talking about is maybe the game is going into maintenance mode, that kind of thing. That I'm not so sure about. I'm not really sure the game is going towards a maintenance mode. Are they working on another game? They could be. Yeah. They've done it before. They'll do it again. I mean, they've worked on other games that have released. They've published other games, that kind of thing. They've taken over a lot of that stuff here on the West side, NCSoft West type stuff. They've taken it over. Publishing, support, that kind of thing is all run through ArenaNet. That's good power move. They're one of the more profitable things under the NCSoft banner. So they have a lot of sort of buying power when it comes to time and manpower. Now, whether the manpower stuff holds up, I don't know. But time they do have because of the way they have things set up. I do not like dev crunch myself. I believe it makes lower quality games over time, and in just overall, it's just not good for dev health. A lot of devs end up moving around and things like that, and just it creates terrible middle management because of it, and it creates terrible heads of companies to be able to profit off of the backs of their employees while still making much more money than their employees who put that crunch in. So I do not believe in crunch. I do not think it's a fair standard anywhere. And inside any company. So them waiting an extra couple months, so be it. Will it release at the beginning of October, the end of October, in the middle of October with the Halloween update? I really hope not. I love Halloween. It's one of the things I still enjoy about Guild Wars 2, the Halloween season. So hopefully they don't do what they've done in the past and release an expansion in the middle of Halloween type of thing. I think they did that with HOT, which feels weird. I would rather they wait until November to release something, because that would be where the first major update would have been, and then sort of shuffle the timeline from there to maybe 2 updates before the next expansion if they can get back on a yearly route. If they cannot do yearly expansions and it ends up being something like an 18 months thing, I don't know if that would be good or bad for the game, except for the fact that I've talked about ANET partners trying to look for content and veterans running out of content. How can ANET make up enough content? I don't know what just happened there. How can ANET make up enough content that we as players, veterans, whatever, feel like we're doing something, And how can we make content as ANET content creators, Guild Wars 2 content creators, not ANET content creators, without updates happening more often or a major update that makes us have to play something for longer, right? And maybe raids will provide that for now and things like that, but what happens after June when we have to wait July, August, September, right? We have 3 months of nothing. Of course, we'll do something for August for 13-year anniversary and things like that. It's like the 20th anniversary of Guild Wars 1 next month, right? I can't remember when that game came out ever. But yeah. By the way, there was a leaked email. It's fake. I don't know how someone would get that email in the first place, but it's fake for Guild Wars 1. Again, certain people just very creative with their nastiness towards whatever problem they think exists. But anyways, I think the future of Guild Wars 2 is going to sustain the way it has been. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I really don't know still. I think it's good where it's at for new players, because if content continues to happen every year and this sort of like $25, $30 push, it keeps the game afloat, and it's still cheaper than a subscription cost, and it continues to add quality of life stuff, not only for people with the expansion, but for players overall. We continue to see that kind of thing happen. Again, we forget about it, but like they have been doing updates to the entire game because we're able to give them money for something. Whether that something's feeling like it's worth it or not really comes down to the content that they give us and what we enjoy in that content. So in this case, I'm not enjoying the story as well. Lore buffs enjoy it. I don't really care for the Mersat myself. The bears don't seem that interesting to me, and the Astral Ward in general just seems generic in a way to me. But I do enjoy some aspects and things like that. Seeing the Warclaw get upgraded and stuff like that is really cool, and it's one of my favorite mounts to do races on and stuff, instead of doing like just Raptor or Jackal or whatever. Now I have the Warclaw. Yeah, I don't think ArenaNet is going anywhere or anything like that, so all that kind of speculative stuff is just speculation. And I don't like to speculate on why this stuff is, because really it could just be as simple as they don't want to crunch and they want to make sure the quality is there. And that's it. Like, that's it. And they're just going to go ahead and take a couple extra months. Or not even a full couple extra months. It could just be an extra, 45 days. So, we'll see. Is there anything else with that? I can't really think of anything else. It sucks, too, because a lot of people have already planned out their year for content creation, and, I haven't. I only do it 6 months at a time. And even then, it's on a 3-month cadence. So meaning, like, if I get a month in, like, and I need to change things. So, like, in January, if things aren't going well, I can start looking at April, May, July already to adjust to whatever I need. So it's not a big deal for me. Them sending this out on March 17th, gives plenty of time for people to adjust expectation and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get a solid date not too far into the summer, or whatever. But October it is, so be it. I do feel like it's going to come out the first week of October. But again, it really comes down to how much time they need. So first full week of October is how I should probably say that. So maybe October 7th release. That's my birthday. Would be interesting. I think that would be a good day, because then like Halloween would start the next week. And it'd be just a bunch of content at once. Because I believe 1, 2, 3, yeah. Halloween would go from the 14th to the 4th of November this year. If not, they should release it on November 11th, and there we go. Winter's Day will be the 16th. Nope. Winter's Day may come early and end on a weird day again. It might be the 9th to something like January 2nd. Because it can't be the 16th to the 6th. It could be. I don't know. December is an ugly month this year. It ends on a Wednesday. New Year's is on a Thursday next year. Christmas is on a Thursday. It's weird. Long weekends, but at the same time, it's weird. Birthday release party. Yeah, for everybody in the month of October. October birthdays. It's a beard hair. It's still attached to my beard. This is what keeps that. This beard is too long. It's time to cut it all off. All of it. It's going to be like this. It's going to be all trimmed. It's time. Once it starts warming up, I'm not gonna deal with what I had to go through last year, where it was all like itchy and sweaty, and up, zip, cutting the whole thing off. It's too much. We'll have no cam until it comes back. But I think that's is it for now. Anything I need to do in game? I don't think so. Hold on, let me go back to this. Shut that off. Yeah. Anything in game? I'm trying to think of what else that I might need to cover here, but I don't think so. I just wanted to talk about balance. World versus World updates. Do I have? Hold on, I might be able to open some of those boxes to see if it really is a lot more siege. I don't know how I got this outfit on my character. Let's go. Maybe not. Let's go. Because he has the locked button. Yeah, I didn't even go through this. I just logged out. I need a key. Let's find Dugan. Get some keys. I don't remember where Dugan is. He's straight ahead. There he is. What do we got here? Boop. Boop. Defending objectives for certain stuff will be interesting. I'm actually going to spin tickets. Grab the cheap ones there. Emblem of the Adventure? Sure. Of the Adventure? Adventure? I don't know why I'm doing that. It's got to be like 24,005 badges. No, don't spend your badges. 15. That looks good.
Now this is a find.
I got siege equipment, 4 catapults, and 2 arrow carts out of 15. Yeah, it's an increase. I wish these were depositable. Depositable. I have 2 in the bank already. That's crazy. Oh, we can sell these. How much are these selling for? 18 gold. 50 gold. Blueprint. Tin silver. I saw. Yeah, still about 10 silver. We'll see if these drop in price. Some are 11. So that's interesting. I mean 18 gold? What? How many do these take? Pile of recycled siege equipment. Oh. Okay. They cost a stack, so it's 2.5 gold. I can't do math. It's 25 gold, right? Is that right? 25 gold? I need a siege master. That's what I need. I need a siege master. I need to do the math on this.
I offer the best prices around.
No. 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 Yeah, it's a stack of them. So if they're 10 silver apiece, you need 250 of them. Let's do a little bit of math. $250 times 0.1. That's 25 gold apiece. That's where you would set them at. 25 gold. For the pile of recycled siege equipment. You know, give or take. That's not bad, I guess. How many of those do you need for what they're used for? You get 200 of another blueprint out of them. You need 100 of them. Okay. So you need 2,500 gold to get the recycled stuff. Yeah, 22 to 27 gold. Golem blueprints are 23 to 33. Can you imagine that the wiki already had the information and I've just wasted my time? Got him. Got him. All right. Ichi turned 41 today. By the way, everyone. Okay. So you need 100 of them. Yeah, so 2,200 to 2,700 gold. The API hasn't been updated either. But we'll probably see. Okay.
I'll be on.
So yeah. That's money. 30 gold. I wonder how fast they're selling. No, he's just do this. Not very fast. Maybe people don't need him that bad. 30 gold though, that's crazy. Well. Look who it is. Look who it is.
Buying something?
Mr. Dev himself, Roy. Hold on. Didn't it say I had 2 in the bank? The other ones are account bound? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I break you.
It's just like the Mersat rune stones that are account bound. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can you 4-stack fix them? I don't think so, but we could try it. No, they're 2 different objects. That's all right. That's happened before with stuff, so I'm not surprised. They'll probably fix it. If not, I only have 2 that are count bound. Of my Mersat runestones, 150 of those still being account bound sort of sucks too. But yeah. That's on my guild siege right there. Except catapults and flame rams I steal from the guild. Ba-da-da, da-da-da. So emblems of the Conqueror are easier to get because you can get those through defense stuff. So that's a great quality of life change. There's something to do with these Grandmaster marks too that I can't remember right now. Account bound. Serious potion. I wonder what they're gonna do for if you really need guild siege. No, that's just the siege that's built up over time.
Your colors.
I think I got a lot of that siege from opening all my world versus world supply boxes and stuff. I think that's what happened there. Where's the thing I'm looking for or thinking of? Let me grab my warrior. We're gonna go to LA really quick. I want to find the April Fool's NPC and see what the prices of that stuff is before April 1st. It's a week away. Yeah, next Tuesday. To LA, don't forget to buy your whatchamacallums. Your ornate rusted keys for the week. It's good gold. It was like 50 gold an hour when we were doing those farms. My keys are already building up to another stack again. We didn't even spend all my keys. They're in the middle, right? Dang it. No. Holy crap. I think I almost died there. Where's the dude? Where's that merchant? I feel like I saw the guy over here, but maybe not. Oh, maybe he's over there. No, this is the story guy.
I offer the best prices around.
Bottle refined crate oil.
Thank you.
The merchant will be, or did he move over in the corner? Let me check. Could just be in the corner. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. There's a lot of people over here. Bonus event merchant. Bonus these, am I right? April Fool's merchant. Yeah, okay. I knew I was dumb, but not that dumb. Homestead decoration box. Oh, yeah. Has had the JB Tinkers working around the clock at a big project for a VIP, and then I find out it's a special order you made. Makes sense since you really helped him out at Guyala. Anyway, I volunteered to help get it all packed and shipped out to you, and this should be everything you need to get started. Just put the register in your homestead and it'll walk you through setup. I heard there's a holiday of some kind coming up in Tyria, and I'm betting this is for that. But if you're really retiring from the adventuring life, more power to you. Keep it low stress, friend. Your pal, Yao. Yao? Yao. I don't know how to say it. But yes, I think I got the postage on this all figured out for Tyrian Customs, but if it gets... It's got a bunch of angry stickers or something. Wasn't me. Cool. It cost bloodstone dust and dragonite ore. Contains the control system for your cafe. Open to add the cafe console decoration to your stock of homestead decorations. Handles testing, opening, and upgrades for your cafe. Fool's Tall Tonic. A heightened state of awareness. And we'll get some for free. And then there's the cat stuff.
You bring me something?
That infusion is cheaper than I thought it was. What? 8 gold plus 50 chatoyant elixirs? Huh. A tiger's eye and a barrel orb. Dun 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 da da dun dun da 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 da. Okay. I don't think I need anything else here. Da-da-da-da-da. We already got all that. I don't get snow every day. Super Adventure Box, we'll deal with that when the time comes. I have 3 plus 60. 3 stacks plus 60 bobble bubbles, so maybe there'll be something to spin it on this year. I hope they allow us to buy infusions. Maybe World 3 will be done. That's what... God, that was the best joke. You should already be asking for World 4 if you ask me. Update these festivals, ain't it? What the frick?
Your colors.
Alright, go over here. Okay. Character select. You. Ba bum 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 bum. A cafe. Let's see what this cafe is about. Let's see what it's all about.
Time to do some real damage.
Ba-da-da-dum. Maybe. What am I doing? Mail. This. Boom. Okay. Ba-dum. How do I decorate? Homestead chair, cafe transporter. Do I buy it? What? Wait, hold on. What's it cost? What? Is it just more decorations? I don't know. I don't know how to do this. This. There we go. I'm okay, that exists. Okay. I have some chairs. Okay. And I have lights. Customers served 7. Eight. Food sells 8. There's my new infusion. The Wisp. 9. Look at that chubby boy. If Bo was a creature in Guild Wars 2, he would definitely be this dragon. He's not even in my room. I don't know what's happening. I'm testing my cafe. I have served 22. Okay, well that happened. Anyhow, there an achievement tied to the cafe? I don't think so. Also, I did not get another achievement point, so maybe I got the achievement point first. I can't remember how many achievement points I had before today. I don't know where it would be. Should probably do this. Oh my god, are we gonna finish Trident Master and Spear Master? That would be crazy. For all these years? I guess it's just testing it. Maybe it's for RP. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't open that yesterday? I did now. By the way, I think we bought like something like 3 years worth of those keys, so. For that longbow kill count, I think if I was gonna kill things on a longbow, I'd do it on warrior. I think I do it on warrior. All right, anyhow. So that's a thing everybody got from that thing. We did. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Okay. I think that's it. I think I have nothing left. Have I been putting in my super adventure box? I think so. I don't see any here, right? This is a mess. This is a mess. Like, don't need that. Don't need that.
How may I be of service?
Don't need that.
My time is precious.
I'm maxed out on silk scraps? No. That's it, we're done. I don't think I have anything else. I just want to talk about the balance patch and stuff like that. We put 3 hours in today. Yep, just worried about Spectral Grasp. See if ArenaNet listens. Probably not. That's how I feel. But yeah. Next show's here in a couple weeks. Next show will be Super Adventure Box. So, and then next week is April 1st. I thought Super Adventure Box would be next week, but maybe not. Whenever Super Adventure Box is, we will be doing that. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. I totally know how the internet works. Because I believe the roadmap said it was in April, There's the Dungeon Rush event, Super Adventure Festival, Skills and Balance update, which was the April 15th. So April Fool's next week probably sets off the dungeon event, and then Super Adventure Box from the 8th to the 29th. Balance update the week after that. And then World vs. World No Downstate would start on the 22nd. That's the final week before, well, maybe not, 29th, who knows. Return to End of Dragons event. Roller Beetle Racing event. PvP. I don't know. I would like to do Super Adventure Box, and I think our next show is on April 8th if it's Super Adventure Box, whenever that is. And then we'll have a show 2 weeks after that. And then continue that cadence. That's my plan. We'll see what happens. What else is going on with Guild Wars 2 right now? I think that's it. April 8th, or I think, is Super Adventure Box. That's my guess. It's the full month of April. We'll be back. We'll do Super Adventure Box thing. We'll do beginner mode or whatever it is. Then we'll have to do it normally and that kind of stuff. We'll quickly get the annual achievements done and sort of be a speed run. See what I can remember from last year, what I can't remember. Like, I'm already going through it now. Oozes, that kind of thing. But pretty much it's just a speed run to get as many baubles as I can, to get the bauble bubbles for the week, to buy all the weekly stuff that I want to get, which will be less than it has been in the past because I used to get the legendary shards. Won't need those anymore. So it's just building up as many bauble bubbles as possible. We'll see if they add any new stuff to buy from the merchants. That kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to Super Adventure Box. It's one of my favorite festivals. The grind can get to me, though. The grind can get to me. I hope that's not the case. Become a jaded vet from that kind of stuff. How uneven my chair has gotten. Like, even if I lift up, it's not enough. It's gonna be like up here. That's crazy. I broke it a long time ago. About a year ago. Playing Elden Ring. Because I punched the thing and it broke, and then I hurt my hand. There's still scars from when I punched it. It broke, and I double tapped, but it broke the chair, and then I like punched the metal and it cut me open. It's crazy. That's when I knew we were coming to an end. The end of Elden Ring. And then we did 3 more parts. Let's think. Chain to Echoes has been going on. We're on part 10. I don't think we're going to get to it today. No, I'm not going to do Chain to Echoes today. Not even Stardew Valley. I'm going to call it early. We'll be in Chain to Echoes tomorrow, as long as the internet is good. Again, it's all up to my internet, whether it's going to be stable or not. So far, so good. We are on day 8 of streaming. Is that true? We were here... When did I start? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday. Is it already Tuesday this week? Dang! What's going on? Yeah, this is our 8th day straight of streaming. I plan on streaming the rest of this week as long as the internet is good. So we'll have 9, 10, 11 days in a row. But we'll have parts 10, 11, and 12 of Chained Echoes, and then we'll be close to finishing that up. If I continue into the weekend, we might be able to get the number of shows. Again, the last Guild Wars 2 show is back up. I don't think we had any shows until Guild Wars 2 a couple weeks ago. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If I stream every day for the rest of this month, we'll still hit the 15 shows that are expected. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Might just have to bite the bullet on that. Make up for it a little bit in April. Stardew Valley like event is going to be starting soon. So when I'm done with Chained Echoes, we'll be going into Stardew Valley for 5 of those shows. Stardew Valley Expanded. We'll do 5 shows of Stardew Valley Expanded. And then we will do the first game in the lineup, which that actually hasn't been chosen. Well, actually, I think I have it written down. I think it's Coral Island. Yep. Coral Island will be the first one up. So Coral Island, we'll do 5 shows of each one for about 5 hours. I think it's like somewhere close to 28 hours probably of gameplay. So 5 shows of Stardew Valley Expanded just to get it started, and then we'll do 5 shows of each of the games, which are Coral Island, Roots of Pacha, Build a Mystria, Kinseed, Sunhaven, and I might have a 6th one. I'm not 100%. I have to look at it again. That's because I got behind on other things, but I've been doing other things, so I haven't got everything. But it doesn't matter. What's going to end up happening is those 5-6 shows, so that's per game, so that's going to be somewhere between 25 and 30 shows. They're just queued up. So there won't be any Stardew Valley Expanded in the sense of when I'm doing those 5 shows. So we will do Stardew Valley Expanded for 5 shows. Then we'll do Coral Island for 5 shows. And then I'll do probably an episode of Stardew Valley Expanded to keep up with it. And then the next one is 5 shows. Guild Wars 2 will also be queued up every 2 weeks. So it could take a couple weeks to go through a game or whatever. That's fine. As long as we get a good idea of each game, that's the plan. And then we'll see how it goes. But as we do it, that's what I plan. If a game just isn't fun for whatever reason, I'm not enjoying it, we will cut it a little short. But I'll try to do at least 3 episodes is what I'm guessing. The idea is to get enough hours to make sure that I can confirm. Like, getting to that 10-hour mark is one thing, getting to the 20-hour mark is the next. So as long as I pass those 2 things, I'll have a good idea about the game, whether I would enjoy playing it or not. And here's the thing, if I do enjoy playing one of those, we can continue to play it afterwards or whatever. Or I'll play it off a stream, I don't know. But maybe, I don't know, I just want to keep going with Stardew Valley Expanded in the meantime. So we'll just be going through that. A lot of Stardew Valley Expanded. Other than that, we will be playing more RPGs this year, whatever those are, so be prepared for that. But again, this all relies on my internet working and that kind of thing. So if it's a bad internet day, it's just a day we can't stream. And while I said 15 shows a month, we may have to up that cadence a little bit. And that's fine, because I don't like falling behind, whatever that means. But yeah, 180 shows is what I promised you this year, and that's what you're going to get. Trying to think of anything else. No. That's it. So, what was it? 52 shows of Stardew Valley Expanded. You have 25 to 30 shows of the Stardew Valley likes. You have 26 shows of Guild Wars 2. It's all starting to add up really fast. Chained Echoes is already going into like double digits, so you can really start to see what the show is mostly going to consist of this year. I'm trying to think what else we've done this year. I feel like we've done other things, right? Jeez. So much. So much. Oh yeah, Sea Fantasy is what we've been doing this year. That's right. I laughed because it has not gone well. 8-Bit Adventures. That's right. We played that. 8-Bit Adventures. Real Fishing. That's crazy. Have I already done 30 shows this year? Yeah, I'd have to. It's been 2 months. What else did we play this year? Web Fishing. That's right. We were still playing Web Fishing. Oh yeah, Blossom Tells. We finished that. Yeah. Did I really get to 7 parts of Web Fishing? Hold on. Yeah, we did 7 parts of Web Fishing. What? I don't even remember that. But we did part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was 5 shows of web fishing. I 100%ed that game for achievements. Hades 2 was last year. I was just talking about this year. Are you talking about Hades 2 this year? I won't play Hades 2 again until 1.0 releases. Well worth the money? Chaz, didn't you buy me that game? Yes, it was totally worth the money. Because it was free. It's like $5. Yeah, I mean, $5 and I put 140 hours into it. Still there. 135.7 hours. Sea Fantasy, I put 28 hours in. 100% of that game. The end of that game was interesting, but meh. I played Prodigal this year off a stream. 20.9 hours, 25 out of 40 achievements. Stories of Bethlehem. That's a game. 23 out of 52 achievements, and I don't know if I'll go back. 22.9 hours of that game. Backtrack the game. Also had Chillquarium has been something I've been playing, but until the quality of life stuff happens, I probably won't finish the achievements for that, but I got 15 out of 21 there. Balatro, I've been playing that. I'm 20 out of 31 achievements. What? I got to black stake difficulty. I'm past that. I think I'm on orange stake right now. I got orange and gold left. I don't know if I'll do that. Still can't get to Ante 12. And then we've been playing Stardew Valley Expanded on stream, Chained Echoes, Guild Wars 2. We've been like gaming this year. Blossom Tales ended up being 15.7 hours, but I did get all the achievements in that game, so. Oh yeah, I went back and played Anodyne, got a couple more achievements this year, but didn't want to do the last 2 because it became a grind fest for those. It was really messy at the end after beating it and trying to get those other achievements, but 4 out of 6 of those. Crazy stuff. But I perfected like 3 games this year so far, so. And then did... Oh yeah, we have Dragon Age this year. Coral Island, Roots of Pacha, Fields of Mystria, Kenseed, Sunhaven. Those are all already there. Are they downloaded? Did I do that? When was the last time I played this game? Secrets are Grindia. 39.4 hours. It really became a grind. Yeah, 26 out of 69 achievements. The game's a mess too. A lot of those games, the first reaction is like, this is a really great game. And then you get to the end game and it's like, I couldn't beat that game. Like, I couldn't do enough DPS and survive. Like I don't... finish your games, people. You're so bad. Chained Echoes is done by one person. And they put puzzles in there. It's dumb. Stop it. Keep it simple. Less is more. Path to Exile 2. I haven't even got to play that this year. But that was also gifted to me. And I don't remember the last time I played it. But it keeps crashing on me. Christmas was the last time I played it. Only 8.6 hours. I'm so disappointed because I actually was enjoying Path of Exile 2. But yeah, a lot of games to play through. And if you're wondering what the other game for the Stardew Valley like, let me look here. Why is the wish list not under your name? Like when you had those tabs up top, like why doesn't the wish list appear there? Did I put it on my wish list? What game is this and how did it... Blueprints? Ba-ba. I don't know how this game ended up on my wish list. No idea what this game is. Must have accidentally hit the wish list. Get that off there. Blueprints. Emberville is something I'm waiting to play because it is backed up by Co-Carnage being made by those people out there. So that a nice day for fishing, for Friday fishing. Will Friday fishing come back? I don't know, but a nice day for fishing is on my wish list. It's coming out sometime this year. We might check that out depending on its price. What else is on this list? TCG Card Shop Simulator. Early access already. We may play some of that because I haven't played a simulator in a long time and I want to see how dumb they still are. Okay, Blueprints is still on my wish list and will not be removed from my wish list. It said it was added December 31st, 2024. Where did this come from? What? Animal Well is on my list. Beloved Rapture is an RPG we may play this year. Silk Song, that'd be crazy. That's all the stuff on the list. Releases April 10th. What the hell is Blueprints? Why did I wishlist this? Why is it stuck? Should I know what this is? Why can I not remember how this ended up where it is? You suggested it? December 30th? All right, I'll put it back on the list. I'll put it back on the list. Maybe it's because I was supposed to put it on the list of suggested games. Maybe that's why. Is Among Us making a comeback? What is with all the Among Us stuff lately? Crazy. Sus. That's what that is. Oh, the other Stardew Valley like wasn't on my wish list anymore. What happened to it? I don't know. There was another one I was looking at. It's sort of like Hammerwatch, but not. Oh, there's a new Souls-like out. Everybody talking about that game. Oh, that's the game? You should play this game, Zorric. You should play that. You should not paying $60 to rage. I can pay $10 and still rage. But why would I pay 60? Like, I'm not paying extra money here. I'm not paying extra money here to rage. Okay? That's not gonna happen. Like, what is that? Da, 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 da. What else do we have happening here? What's coming up? Grit and Valor 1949. Holy crap. Wasn't that a demo a while back? And I was like, man, it's trying to be an RTS, but real-time tactics? What the hell is that? Spilled. What the hell is that? We clean up oil? That looks like it's not supposed to be something I should talk about. Twilight Monk. Huh. Metroidvania, action RPG, JRPG. Lizards must die too. All right, enough looking at that. I'll try to remember the other game. I don't know where it ended up, but we may play that one. If not, then we'll have 5 solid games. 25 episodes, 28 hours per 5 episodes. That's 5 times 28. That's 140 hours of content right there for Stardew Valley likes, plus the Stardew Valley expanded content that you're going to get, plus the, what am I trying to think of? All the other stuff in between. Guild Wars 2, and maybe Friday Fishing. We need to find a new fishing game that people like. Because Sea Fantasy died. Nobody showed up that day. I don't know where you guys were. It's just Friday Fishing. A lot of people showed up for real fishing. It's because that game is the bomb. I still can't remember how to do get to the last fish. All right, that's it. I'm done. I have nothing else for you today. I just wanted to go through that since we had a little more time. Midian, Nolkron, thank you for being my mods today. Any other mods lurking in chat, I appreciate you as always, unless I missed a mod and I just pretend they're all the same person. But thank you for the conversation in chat today, everyone. I hope you're all having a great, wonderful, terrific Tuesday. We will be back tomorrow with more Chained Echoes. I think we're finishing up Act 3, so we'll be getting into the end game. I don't know if there's post game, but we'll try to finish it up. Maybe not this week, but soon. But we'll have 12 more hours or more at least, because I've been going 5 hours, so like 15 more hours, and we're at the 40-hour mark, I think. So it's 50 to 60 hours to complete everything. So we might be able to get it done the next 3 days as long as the internet holds up. So, already gifted the last Guild Wars 2 stream. I already gifted all the memberships. So new membership gifting will happen April Fool's Day, April 1st. There will be a show that day, but you all know how I feel about April Fools. People just don't know how to prank people. They don't. They suck. Everybody's so malicious and sinister nowadays. You have to have everybody else in on the joke, you know? Rest in peace, Spectral Grasp. Alright, let's get out of here. I'm done. I feel like I'm forgetting to tell you all something, but you know what? Use my links or whatever in the code doobly-doo. Check it out. And as always, I leave you with this. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We're all we got. Have a great night, day, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is. Make it great. If you're going to bed, sleep well, get that rest. You will need it. Trust me. If I don't see you for the rest of this week, we're going to be in Chained Echoes. If I don't see you for the rest of this month, we're going to be in Chained Echoes. If I don't see you for the rest of the year, 2025, take care of yourself, all that kind of stuff. Play some video games. RPG. You're the RPG. Play some RPGs. Go back and play some older RPGs. I've been thinking about, starting up some Chrono Trigger. Just off a stream, just to enjoy it. Oh, why am I not playing it on stream? Because it gets copyrighted to hell on YouTube. Maybe I'll make it membership only content. Maybe I'll record me playing Final Fantasy X and Chrono Trigger and just have copyright absolutely destroy it, but lock it behind membership. You're welcome. Bro, ERP, please. Bro, you got an addiction. That's it. I got nothing else to say. I'm gonna, I don't know, take a nap. I got some stuff to edit on YouTube, I guess. Trying to cut out those breaks and stuff. And there's nothing to cut out of today's show, so that's great. All right, bye.